live on YouTube, and listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football podcast.
What on earth has just happened then? Ignore that. What? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know why I said it like that. Welcome to the World of Football podcast live on YouTube and listening back on Spotify. My thing just completely glitched and I heard myself a million times. But yeah, less said about that. Welcome into everyone in the chat, all these legends. We've got these two legends back with us as usual. Mr. Leshy, Mr. Russell, absolute legends. Gonna start with you both. How are we doing?
He's gone. He's gone. It's gone badly wrong. Amram has stuffed it. Yeah, I mean, for pre-warning disclaimer for the evening, you know, we are going to be talking about the sack a lot tonight. So I hope people don't think we're running point for a testicular cancer charity. But men, check yourselves. We couldn't get the sponsorship, but men, do check yourselves. I have so much I want to say about Amram, though. And the board.
Honestly,
and
I don't blame you guys because it's been just painful watching it as a neutral. In particular, when I saw the news come through that they sacked him, as things, well, you guys were sick. Look at the improvement from last season already. Sacks.
Very low bar.
Shocking. Reece, got a few spoilers to add on that one.
Since you've not used StreamYard for a while, I actually put in the private chat as well, and you can actually bring on the chat as well for everybody to view on screen. So
like a live counter?
Yeah, like that.
There it is.
Beautiful.
It lets you do multiple forms. It lets you do like a tall base. It lets you do across the mat in wide form or regular. It lets you do that. So there's my good deed for the year. But hello everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Steel Chair, the show that I've been calling mine for multiple years. But this is our show. It's not my show. This is our show. So kindness from me to you is real. I've had my hair cut. I've had my beard trimmed. The attitude is still the same, unlike Ruben Amorim's. But one thing is for sure, and it goes like this. If you like football or soccer, if you live in America, do like, share, subscribe to Red Brew Review. Do like, share, and subscribe to NWMYT on YouTube if you're a Cardiff fan, or if you're a petty Wrexham or a delinquent from Newport, or you believe that Swansea are a big football club, then do check out Nathan's channel so he can remind you that his club is bigger than all of yours. And if you do like a little bit of chaos in the form of, then do check out the Weekly Steel Chair for weekly wrestling content and gaming streams and watch-alongs. But in the meantime, the Weekly Steel Chair is a proud, honourable member of the World of Football podcast. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel too. And if you don't, fuck you, and your family. But welcome in. This is where the place to be. So yes, Red Brew Review, NWINT. Do get checked for testicular cancer if you really do have worries about your mental and physical health, or the fact that nothing down there for you works well, then do get your doctor to check you out. And of course, the Weekly Steel Chair. Thank you very much. Let's cook the frauds, or better way, let's begin with the Nancy. Sorry, Wilfred Nancy. Let's start with that. The more adequate hiring for a Celtic manager. Name behold, and then they sack him. You bastards.
33 days in charge, and it's just absolutely revolting for me. Everyone knows Cardiff City, Celtic. We've been through it many times on this channel, but it's just an absolute abomination up in Scotland at the moment. It's been since the start of the season. Russell Martin, Hearts, top of the league forever, looking like they're going to do it. Celtic, Michael O'Neill, absolutely spectacular. Right, let me get this right on screen right now.
What's crazy whilst you're doing that is, as Nathan knows, like on a on a Saturday, I do the Saturday show with Carl on the Levy and Horn podcast. And the one thing that I said about this guy, if he wants to challenge Hearts for the league, he needs to spend. But Hearts have already done what I said Hearts need to do if they want to win the league. Hearts must spend. They've already signed 2 players in the January transfer window. They've signed an attacker and a defender. It's almost as if listening to me is how they should act in football. So fair play to them for actually spending. It's not enough though, but Tony Bloom has actually done well for them since he's actually invested in that club. Fair play to him.
At the end of the day, that's just ambition. He's running it off the same model as like Brighton as well. So
yeah,
I fully expect just Rangers need to spend, and I just need to cook this guy. So this is the last starting 11 under Michael O'Neill. 1-0 against Dundee in December. Absolutely perfect. 4-3-3 system.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, perfect. Considering Kamikata Vickers is out. Trusty Scales, perfect. You got the depth at the fullbacks. Bearing in mind you've got Kieran Tierney and also Ralston coming off bench. Very good options. Midfield, nice and strong. Engels and Hatate pushing up in the cams. McGregor, brilliant at this level. Always has been for Celtic. Perfect front three. Dyson Maeda, probably one of the best strikers in the league, in my opinion. Depth on the wings. Balak Shwia, obviously he's gone to AFCON. Rotating well. Perfect subs. Why get rid of Michael O'Neill here when he's actually fixed it, considering what Brenda did at the start of the season?
It's a great question.
Pathetic.
It's a great question. I actually don't know why you would get rid of Martin O'Neill. I actually thought he was doing all right. The one thing I didn't want was Martin O'Neill to get the job till the end of the season, because I actually rate him as a manager, because he gave me hell growing up, like watching Old Firm games. But like, here's the funny thing about Martin O'Neill compared to Brendan Rodgers. This is why Brendan Rodgers will never be a good Celtic manager, despite all the trophies. Martin O'Neill, when he was actually winning trophies with Celtic in the early 2000s, were playing against Rangers teams that had world-class players.
Yeah.
Not dross. Like, they were actually world-class teams. Brendan Rodgers, the minute he got challenged by a Rangers team, unfortunately managed by a Scouser, the quickest thing he did was take his Northern Irish arse and run.
He did.
Like, he ran quickly. And he'd done it a second time. This time, obviously, he got sacked, whereas the last time he
not before he came crawling back.
Oh, yeah. Like
that was after the disaster with Leicester as well.
After he walked out,
he came crawling.
He caused.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not having a relegation on my CV, so I'm going to walk away like an absolute pussy.
Yeah,
literally.
And then came back to Scottish football, and he wasn't exactly welcomed back with open arms either, which I loved, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Like, he really is an overrated manager. And I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people are saying that he did better in terms of like what he was doing compared to Postecoglou. He was doing better. He was only doing marginally better in Europe because Postecoglou actually wanted Celtic to attack the big teams, and it was suicide football. Whereas Brendan Rodgers at least played a little bit more defensive. But I was more afraid of Postecoglou's Celtic team than I was Brendan Rodgers' team.
And even then with Postecoglou as well, the thing you've got to remember is he had the transition period, so a lot of the deadwood was
he did, didn't he? Yeah, he had a lot of players go and leave. I mean, the thing with Postecoglou's football with Celtic, especially in Europe, if Harambal had a suicide bombing apprenticeship, that was it.
Yeah.
And on top of that as well,
it was just putting the backpacks on all the players and going, right, we're gonna still play our high line and whatever. We're gonna get beaten on the counter and whatever, but we're still gonna play it.
Genuine fear. It was because it was the insane amount of attacking that they could do. It's no coincidence that they were scoring goals for fun and they were dominating teams whilst playing good football. Like, that actually is exciting to watch. Whereas what they have now, I'm sorry, like, same for any Celtic, or doesn't matter if it's a Celtic team or any team in football. If not once but twice, if you let Chermiti score against you, there is something badly wrong.
There is something, and that's not even the worst thing of this game. I've put it on the screen. Look at the difference between the side that Michael O'Neill played against Dundee
Yep.
And that
Martin.
Wilfred Nancy system.
Martin
Martin O'Neill. I always get
remember Michael O'Neill's Michael O'Neill managed Stoke. Martin O'Neill never reduced himself to that type of slut shame.
I knew that was coming, but look at that system.
It's horrible.
It's disgusting. At the end, right? You got Trusty in the middle. Why are you playing one centre back? Out and out, and that's not even the biggest crime. You're playing Kieran Tierney, left-sided centre back. Done it before. There's one here.
Yeah, this is what
Straight away.
This is the bit that had me really confused. Did Wilfred Nancy think he was like the Black Johan Cruyff? Because I've only ever seen Cruyff respectfully play a free man defense, where it was two natural fullbacks beside a traditional centre back.
Hang on a minute, Amram's done that enough times. You know, amount of times.
Yeah,
I've
no,
I mean like
in the back three.
Yeah, but I mean like actual like that is the system he's played everywhere. Whereas he chose to play fullbacks at centre back. Like I went back and look at Nancy Boy's teams. He genuinely plays two fullbacks naturally in his back three, and he actually tells them to go out and play fullback.
This is the biggest problem for me with these young philosophy coaches.
Hipster coaches.
They'll never be as
coaches,
good.
Yeah.
They'll never be as good as a Cruyff.
This is just as bad on the board as well. You are hiring coaches whose philosophy and style of play doesn't have any scalability.
Exactly.
Every team, you talk about make the league adapt to you. You are literally saying we're playing a three at the back with one centre back and two right backs. So put two or three people coming on the inside. We are screwed.
Exactly. Even though what doesn't work is this as well. Like decent option.
He's crap.
Attacking midfielder.
He's awful, by the way.
See, a 3-4-2-1 with a box
shocking.
midfield, that can it's great if you're playing Monopoly football, but otherwise you're gonna if someone's making a game plan against you, they are gonna attack you through the middle.
Oh yeah.
That little bit there between Ralston, McGregor, Engels, Tierney, and Trusty, that space there between that pentagon, pretty much between the five players.
You're correct.
That's where the game plan is going to be won. And I mean, what I find hilarious is Nancy's stint was the same amount of time as holiday entitlement my dad gets in a year from work. 32 days.
Same.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Exact same. I don't
Martin
know
O'Neill got Christmas and New Year off.
Oh yeah, he got Christmas and New Year off and came back.
I think the board, I was worried the board were going to spend. I was really worried the board were going to spend for this ideology.
I really wanted
them to. Thank God, just for sense, they didn't. Because there's no way you could have looked at that Wilfred Nancy form period and go,
yeah,
we can invest in this.
I know I'm the one that started it. I know I'm the one that started it, right?
On top of that as well, I've got to get this off my chest. You're playing one of the best strikers in the SPFL in central attacking midfield wide.
Arsenal almost conceded from their own downfall.
I gotta see this.
Oh, that would have been beautiful. What I'm saying is, I know I'm the one that started this bloody phrase on this podcast, but we've all now adapted to every single fucking football conversation we've had. I literally said on this podcast, make the league adapt to you, and you force it, and now every single one of us uses it in the right way. You look at the Rangers starting lineup, right? That team started with a 4-2-3-1 and it finished in a 4-3-3 after half time. Like he dropped Asgard into a midfield position, and that was it. I don't know what's worse: changing system or Jack Butland getting an 8.5, or Chermiti scoring twice. Like, one thing that's shot me as well though is just how good Mikey Moore is. He's actually done really well when he was not getting games, and he actually seems tailor-made to this fucking team now. But
see, I was worried with the early days of Russell Martin. I was worried Mikey Moore was going to have a poor loan. Like we saw Ahmad go on loan a few years ago to Rangers, and it wasn't very a good loan. And I was worried we were going to see that with Mikey Moore, because I know he's a very good young talent, but I just thought that, it just wouldn't. And thankfully, obviously, it seems to be paying dividends at the minute.
I think Danny Rose seems to have now found his find his feet, and he's found a lineup that's consistent. He's able to use players more effectively, which I do like. I had my doubts about Danny Rowe when he got the job. I was really skeptical. It's not the choice. I wanted Kevin Muscat. It felt more logical. They chose not to spend the £1 million to get him out of his contract, and then he went and won the League and Cup double again for Shanghai. He went and got the League and Cup double again. I was like, you could have denied him 2 trophies to bring him in, you bastards. But I think it's all said and good. Like the fact he started with that traditional German 4-2-3-1. He finished with 4-3-3, and I actually said on that podcast I was on, I was like, the way Rangers are playing right now, I'll be surprised if Rangers win this game. I thought Celtic were going to win. Like I was like, open honest, I was like, Celtic will win this 2-0.
Celtic put their teeth in the ground and spread their ass cheeks, to be honest. They made it so easy for Rangers, particularly that Mikey Moore goal.
Oh,
where he just ran around everyone, and then I don't know what Schmeichel was doing with that goal. To be fair, even Chamiti's second goal, was it? Where he just had a free run and Trusty didn't come across. Like, what we're doing here? What is this suicide defending? Genuinely.
Yeah.
After that, you look at it, and I was like, Nancy's got to go after this because this is terrible. This is not sustainable.
Yeah, and I think another thing as well, and I think this is actually proven a very interesting point. It proves that like that system only works in certain countries like Italy or Portugal or Spain. The back three for a top club in Scotland, it doesn't work. Like nobody seems to get it at all. Which I actually think
I don't think there are enough of the profiles up there.
No. I think
sometimes it can be. Sometimes in back, I think it depends. Some managers like to keep a back three quite simple, and they like. Yeah. I've seen the likes of Big Sam here in England use the back three and keep it quite simple for teams lower down the league. But then smart. Other managers come in with all their ideologies, and they start trying. Well, we're going to have 2 right backs. We're going to go out as wide backs and whatnot, and in possession and whatever. Yeah. They tweak it too much, and it just, like I said, it becomes suicidal. It just doesn't work. I think it can be, you might need specialist profiles, which, just shows that the manager doesn't have enough adaptability as a coach to work with what he has. And one thing I've always said is management 101 is being able to platform what you got. I've said it about Amrim. I've said it about a lot of managers. It's why I respect the old school managers who just come in and just work with what's there. Just keep it simple. And I hate the hipster coaches that don't do that now.
Yeah, it's why if a manager comes in and said to me, if I'm like the sporting director or director of football, and my job is to hire the manager, and I say like, and to be fair, the first question I would generally ask the manager is not what trophies they've won, because I would have done the research.
Yep.
I would have went deliberately. Even though I know what they play, I would be like, what system do you play? But then when you're coming to my club and you're reporting to me personally, what system do you want to play with us? If you tell me at your previous club you played a 3-4-1-2 or you played a 3-5-2 with a flat 5 in midfield with the 2 wing backs do both roles, and you play a front 2 but one's a second striker, or you play a 3-4-3 that's actually stretched, not rigid. If you come and tell me I played these systems, but I'm coming to your job and I'm going to respect the fact that it might not work, I'm going to try a back 4. If it doesn't work, I'll revert back to what I know, but I'll actually train these players to play the back 4 and the back 3. So we don't need to worry about recruitment unless we're really shy on numbers. Then I'll say, right, we'll go and do this. I would hire that manager on the spot if they told me that. If they told me that, I'd be like, I wouldn't give a fuck who else is on the list of names. I'd be like, you know what? They've told me exactly what I'm looking for. But I don't like managers who. I think Ruben Amrim's actually a good manager. I think a lot of people who think he's not a good manager are really stupid. He is actually a good manager. I think he really let himself down by the fact that he was so insistent on player profiles. You don't need specific profiles to play any system. You just need to actually get the players to buy in.
I think it depends actually a little bit, especially with 3-4-3, because we saw Conte come in and buy 3 or 4 players who were cater made for a 3-4-3 system.
Yeah, but if you look
At
at
Chelsea,
his team
I know there was a bit different, but I mean,
Yeah.
we've said that it was basically malpractice not signing 2 holding midfielders for this Man United team.
Yeah, that was lunacy.
Regardless of the system, but I think that my problem with managers like Ruben Amorim is when things aren't working, instead of trying to tactically tweak or show any kind of flexibility, because your reputation is on the line, and that was the system that brought you to the table, and it built your reputation. You are so stubborn that you try and make it work as best as possible to the point where you are wedded to that formation. Similarly to how the board were wedded to Amorim because their reputations are on the line because he was their appointment.
It's a criticism I have of his sporting team because he had 2 strikers in Paulinho and he had fucking Gyökeres. And instead of thinking, okay, you rotate one in, one out, you play that way, which is actually really effective, he decided, no, I only want to still play with 1 striker. So he converted Paulinho into one of his 2 players behind the striker. And I was like, why would you do that? It actually paid off, though. Like, he actually delivered in that position. But I was like, that's a huge gamble. Why not just play at that point? You've got a lot of good attacking midfield players. Why not just play Pedro Gonçalves on his own?
Fear of changing anything.
Yeah.
Because what if it changes, it doesn't work, and you come under scrutiny? I mean, maybe the Portuguese league is weak enough that you can afford to make those kind of characteristic changes in player profiles, but at the same time, like,
it was working in Europe though, which is even weirder. But I was like, just
sometimes it was, but sometimes, like, I remember seeing Atalanta absolutely rip Sporting apart. It was a great game plan by Gasperini, which other coaches then took notice of and used against them. And what worried me was how one-dimensional that was. I said when Amorim was appointed that he needs to improve as a coach now. What he's going to need to understand is his exact blueprint is not going to happen. Whether it's formation, whether it's player profiles. Klopp played 4-2-3-1 a lot at Dortmund. Played a 4-3-3 at Liverpool. I know that's a formation changes nothing for principles.
But he recognised
the point I'm making is, exactly. And I said that he would have to improve as a coach, accept that his blueprint was not going to be 11 for 11 replicated.
Yeah,
he didn't. He didn't improve as a coach. He spent a year saying how we were going to suffer and how and now after a year he said, actually, I need 11 new players, which I said a year ago. He's going to need this.
Yeah,
it's on the board. The board should have seen that. It was the board's job to not hire the guy who's going to be the worst fit for this system.
It's why I like. It's weird as well. See, if you look at his entire time frame as manager, there's one type of player that Jurgen Klopp actually did not sign that he had an abundance at Borussia Dortmund. He did not sign a single number 10 for Liverpool. If you actually look at it, he never signed an attacking midfielder. He signed...
Well, I mean, Wijnaldum?
No, I don't rate him as an attacking midfielder. I
mean, Wijnaldum played more of as like a left midfielder, didn't he? In like a 4-2-3-1 for Newcastle.
Yeah, or he played in the double
or
pivot.
Played as
But for Liverpool, he played in the right hand side of the ahead of the midfield. I actually look at in perspective. He never played. I think technically, I don't think Firmino was a striker or a false 9. I actually think Firmino was a number 10, but he was adaptable enough to play as a centre forward.
But he was already there. He was already there when Klopp came in.
Yeah, but he tweaked it.
Same with Coutinho as well.
Yeah, I actually think Klopp was like, number 10s aren't going to work in my team, and Coutinho's not good enough to play left wing. That's why they were happy to sell him.
Yeah,
because he was amazed. Shit on the wing.
Awful. Yeah. And then again, look what happened straight after as well. Everyone tried to
line unlocked.
Wing. Barcelona absolutely flopped. Went to Villa. Villa. I mean, worked at Bayern. Villa in the middle.
Bayern refused to play him as a number 10.
Terrible. Yeah.
In that team, like they were like, no, Thomas Muller is our undisputed number 10. Coutinho does not start in that 10 ahead of Thomas Muller, even at 34. He's like, it's just not happening. He's like, it's not happening. but
It was a
Jesus
disaster
Christ,
zone.
that Man United team, like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
so what I've done, this is his last lineup.
I like that comment from Dan though.
Just needs to
about-
be cut.
I appreciate that comment like that. I think that's a fair comment, especially about Toby Collier. Like all of a sudden, like playing a midfielder left back as well. I hate when managers do that. Like they're fucking midfielders. They're not like that. But
I remember when Ten Hag loaned out Alvaro Carreras, and we saw Lindelof and Amrabat left back shifts, and
don't even get me
the
started.
fan base did a bunch of mental gymnastics and everything. You know, I'm sick of the fan base when a manager does something and they'll back it to the detriment of any player, and they'll be like, "But guys, the manager sees him on the training pitch. He's not training hard enough. He needs to work hard enough." Do you remember when Ten Hag wouldn't play Ahmad and played Forson ahead of him, and everyone could see Ahmad was a better player? And it wasn't until after Ten Hag left, the fans who backed Ten Hag on that were like, "Oh, you might have been onto something." And it's the same with Amrim on Mainu, and I'm just sick of. I have
a weird thing. I have a weird thing about Mainu. It's not an agenda against him, but I've got a weird thing on him. But the sheer amount of anger I had to Ten Hag for getting rid of Alvaro Fernandez, I wanted to, like, in the nicest way possible, dump him in the Pacific Ocean, because right now he's in the top 3 for best left backs in the world.
What we could have done with Alvaro Carreras playing as a wing back in Amrim's system. This is what I never understood.
There's only 2 or 3 left backs that are better than him in world football. Nuno Mendes, This was a kid
who actually ripped it up in the championship. This was a kid who actually did well in the championship. You know, Spanish left back playing in the championship. It's, you know, a young player coming from Carrington as well, in the sense of these kind of stories maybe don't always happen in the championship. You know, player of the year and whatnot. Was there, went out on loan, came back after 6 months, and went out on loan to Benfica again. Did he not?
He went to Benfica and they signed him for $6 million.
That whole loan to buy thing, yeah.
And now we won't get a sniff of him again. Like, that's it. Like, we'll never see him back in a Man United shirt again. But yet that stupid fat clown will continue to be given minutes for Man United at left back. I seen people the other day arguing with me, telling me he was good last night against Burnley. I was like, he couldn't cross a ball. How can you tell me he's good?
B, you can cross a ball. And C, we need to look at the broad picture of what he's been like over the last 5 years.
That performance last night honestly deserves
worse. Oh yeah, the body language. The body language was appalling. I think the fact that Ugarte and Dorgu and Sesko were the only ones really who turned up.
I think
two which have been very polarizing in the fan base as well.
I would say Fernandez as well. I think Fernandez as well did turn up until
Fernandez always turns up, but obviously injury meant he obviously had to manage minutes.
I actually have a weird take. I actually see when it comes to wingers right now, and I love Ahmad. I'm starting Dorgu over Ahmad at right wing, but that's because I'm playing Ahmad in a different position.
Interesting.
But I look at it right now, the adaptability in this team, but like the amount of players that are still given chances in this team really makes me sick. Like
on top of that as well, you're playing Leeds in a local derby. What is the reason for one sub? And you're bringing Xerxes on. I know Seshko was shocking, but surely, just out of this bench alone, you had something.
Nah. I'm happy we brought Seshko on. I'm happy we brought Xerxes on. There's a player in Xerxes. There is a player. I'm convinced of it. Yeah, there is. It's just I like his technical ability. I really do. And I think he can make players around him better. I mean, firstly, I'm happy because of the shop window. But also the fact that the problem is Xerxes I think is one of those players that needs a run of games consistently in the right position.
He's not a striker.
He was so good as like a left 10 hybrid last season. And there was a point that when he did get injured in the run into the end of the season, it looked like we were finished without him. He was doing so good in a run of games when he's got his fitness up, because he's not given enough minutes this season to get I don't think to get his fitness has not been good for the majority of the season, and I put that down to the fact that he's not got enough minutes, and I think it was.
In a front two, he's good in the second.
He got an assist as soon as he came on. Some good movement as well. So it doesn't look all bad bringing him on. I think the worrying thing was not much else came on. Not much else came on, and that's what I really didn't like.
No, I agree with you. I also think there's so much uncertainty in this squad as well. Like, that's the thing that I find absolutely funny. And people are like, oh, it's the manager's gone. There's going to be... I love it when they say manager bounce. Or the attitude's going to change.
I don't know about that on this occasion.
The attitude hasn't changed. And people are going to say the same thing about Solskjaer. I was like, no, it won't. It'll be worse than Solskjaer. It will be.
I'm telling people to tone down their expectations. Ollie's interim period was great last time. That one run he went on when he first came in, I'm not expecting to see that with this bunch.
I've legit said
Solskjaer, when he first comes in, lifts the dressing room.
Yeah,
it happens a lot longer than us, purely because it was just stinking under Mourinho at the time. Defensive football. Ollie brought some life back into it. They respected him.
Yep.
He brought it back. When he implements his own ideas in and splashes the cash, after that second place finish, disaster. Always happens with Solskjaer. Sinks, tactically inept, absolutely shocking.
This is why
if he comes in again to transition away from that, and also the laziness in that squad and the lack of quality and overpayment in there, you guys are just going to sink down the table again. It'll be a disaster.
This is why
I'm not too
disappointed if he's interim, because I said on another show, being the interim manager, you're different to when you're the actual permanent manager.
We said that with several other permanent managers, and they just didn't care. Like, they did the same with Ralph Rangnick, and look what happened to him. He's a veteran in the game, and they chose to get rid of him because he told them, like, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
He was brutally honest, and he even said it.
Coming in on an interim is not that bad, as long as it's just an interim. The football club for me has to make it crystal clear that it's just on an interim.
I don't have to. Here's another thing that really annoys me as well, and this is what I hate about this appointment. He says he's not. I mean, obviously, UK employment laws. He can't work for free, right? So he's going to be on like 60. He's going to be on like 60k a week. He gets Champions League qualification. He gets £3 to £4 million bonus. I'm sorry, but no. If you're qualified for the Champions League, you get told goodbye, fuck off.
Yeah,
like you've done that. The only way, and he will not do it in his life. I know that for a fact. The only way he can convince me to give him the permanent job in Man United is if he was to win the Premier League and the FA Cup this season. In the last 6 months, if he wins the League and Cup double, I still wouldn't give him the permanent job.
I don't think he'll get the job.
He's a fucking crap manager.
I don't think he'll get the job. I think he'll. Firstly, if he's coming in on an interim, I think it would have to be him and Michael Carrick. I've always said that I would never take Ollie back at the football club without good coaches around him, because
I wouldn't even bring him back in because he can't coach for
not
shit.
Possible. We're in this position where he could be coming back. I mean, I think out of the two interim, I think I would rather have Michael Carrick alone than Ollie alone.
He's a better coach.
But yeah, like, I think I'm not mad about the interim. You know, if it turns out that we get 6 months of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on an interim, we get Champions League football, because I think Champions League football is 100% gettable with the state of the teams around us. The amount of times we have not capitalized on poor results around us, ludicrous.
There's only two teams consistently better than Man United this season, and that's Manchester City and Aston Villa. There, I said that, Arsenal fans.
Even though City are drawing a lot of games.
Yeah, Brentford won't last. Newcastle are actually decent, but they had a heck of a riot last night.
And on top of that as well, the thing that always hinders them at North is no matter what season, August, September, October, absolutely shocking start. And that's been the case since the 2000s. It just happens with Newcastle, and that's why they have to call it back all the time. Maximum 5th or 4th, but they're never going to get anywhere unless they get out of the rut.
Can we also pay homage to the fact that the so-called Arsenal fans that claimed that Arsenal were going to break Chelsea's league record for goals conceded is about to break.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all pay respect to the deluded fans?
And speaking about them as well, they are not walking the league. I don't care what any of them are saying.
No one is. No one.
They are grinding out results, and they've been lucky in a lot of games.
But they're grinding out results and pushing players to their limit.
Yeah.
Only halfway through the season. These are the kind of results you applaud in April, not in December, which means this team is going to fall apart with injuries very quickly, and the results are not going to be grinded out. Exactly. City are going to win the league. City are going to be there waiting.
I think it's going to be a two-horse race between these two.
It wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal actually finished third and Man City and Villa finished top two. I think a lot of people. I said at the start of the season, people were I said Villa could potentially win the league at the start of the season. People were calling me crazy, but I was like, "Hello."
I'll one up it. I think Villa will win the league. Man City, they're just too inconsistent.
Villa always find a way to fall away. This is the first time
I don't think they will this time.
Position.
It's the Donnarumma. It's the Donnarumma effect. I think if they hadn't signed Donnarumma, then I would agree with you. But they did, and look at him; he's been brilliant for City. And it's so funny.
It's the rest of the team, though.
It's so funny as well. This is the part that makes me absolutely laugh. It's the fact that Arsenal claim they've got the absolute best defence in the league. City have got an injury crisis and they've only conceded 5 more goals than Arsenal. And to City, an injury crisis is actually more evident than Arsenal because Arsenal haven't got a single good player in their squad.
Exactly, and with City, it's just a sneeze if any of them gets injured. Like, A, we'll sign more in January, or B, we'll just pick out the 1,000,000% squad depth. Always happens, and in fact, we're at the time now, those draws have come along. It's time for Pep's run. Does it every single time.
Yeah.
Did you see the bloody Arsenal fans? This actually made me bloody laugh. Like I actually burst out laughing. There was an Arsenal fan that got, it's no surprise, they're rage-baiting clowns. But there was an Arsenal fan that got interviewed. I think it must have been after a matchday squad or just a random channel just doing interviews for fans in the street. And this Arsenal fan was asked, who would they replace Arteta with? And they went through manager names, right? And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. The first name I'm pretty sure was Jurgen Klopp. They said no. They said no because Arteta's going to win more leagues and he's going to win more Champions Leagues than Jurgen Klopp as the Arsenal manager. So immediately I burst out laughing. He then asked him, what about Carlo Ancelotti? And he said, no, Arteta's a better manager than Ancelotti.
Oh my
God.
Oh yeah, I'm not kidding. He got
asked.
It's
not serious. What are we doing here?
Oh wait, it gets worse.
It can't get worse. It can't.
Oh, it gets worse. He was then asked about Antonio Conte, and he said, no, his football doesn't work in the Premier League.
What?
He said that.
Excuse me?
He got asked about Luis Enrique. He said, no.
What about the 30-plus game win when he won the league with Chelsea?
Hang on a minute. Not even that. Hang on a minute. How many leagues has Arteta won? Conte won it in his first season. If our fan base didn't have the arrogance they do about certain managers, and we hired Conte instead of Ten Hag, right? And we'd given that manager all the power, we'd have won the league in the first season he was here.
Easily.
We would have
that
won
season when we finished third and won a cup and lost 7-0 to Liverpool and everything, 100% we'd have won the league that year if we'd given this manager everything he wants and more.
And even somehow, for a little bit, managed to make it work with Tottenham.
Yeah, it gets worse, by the way. So we said no to Luis Enrique because he's already got a Spanish manager. His exact words.
Mad.
He said no to Sir Alex Ferguson.
Oh no.
Because he said, what's the point? He said no to Carl Ancelotti. He said no to Massimiliano Allegri because he said we don't like that type of football. But I was like, you won the league with one of the best defenses in the 90s, you absolute morons, with George Graham. And then the final manager, this is where I know for a fact Julio's going to crash out. He said no to Arsene Wenger because Arteta's a better manager than Wenger ever was.
Last 5 years of Wenger was better than this 5 years of Arteta. Why? Trophies. With a crap spend. Can you imagine if you gave mid 2000s Wenger, £1 billion, let alone 90s Wenger.
Even then, Invincibles Wenger.
I'll give you one further. Arsene Wenger still managing at Highbury. Arsenal would never have went on that 9-year trophy drought. I think people realise, like, see if this is actually a belief I have. See if Arsenal's ownership never got so giddy about.
Imagine if you gave 2010s Wenger, who lost Nasri, Clichy, and Fabregas in one summer, and then Van Persie the next, and then Adebayor and Kolo Touré 2 years prior. You give that Wenger £1 billion and not leave him with Shamak and Scalacci playing as a lot of sub appearances in Prem matches. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
It scares me to say this, right? But if you actually gave 2010 Wenger, who was reinventing himself, £1 billion, is it a delusional thing to say that maybe Arsene Wenger would have done a second Invincible season, but this time he actually would have won more than one trophy?
I don't think it would. I don't think maybe Invincible, because that's such a hard thing to do anyway.
But he technically did it twice, though.
He might have broken the win records. You might have been Centurion. Might have actually got that Champions League he was looking for.
He's one of few managers that I've always said deserves it. Him, Simeone, and Allegri, they all deserve a Champions League, but they'll never get it. It's a shame that Wenger will never get it. I mean, it's also actually good that he never got it, because
Wenger with £1 billion wouldn't have had to turn to Manuel Almunia in Paris when Lehmann decided to get a red card and call it a day.
Because that's because Jens Lehmann wanted to get to the World Cup quickly.
He was just there like, right, I've been here 15 minutes. I can't be asked for this anymore, so I'm going to just self-sabotage.
I think Jens Lehmann's exact words in his head was, I've already seen my country conquer France 60 plus years ago, and then I saw Schumacher knock out a French player at the World Cup in '82. So let's knock out a Cameroon player and let's just get straight to the World Cup on home soil. I want out of this. No, he's just there
country. Like, oh, this is Paris. I didn't want to be in Paris. I wanted to be in Berlin. Might call it now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to go and kill this player. And it wasn't, if you actually look at it as well, he didn't even touch Samuel Eto'o. He didn't even touch him. It's just back then it was just harder to get a red card. That's what's crazy about that red card. But typical about Arsenal, they went 1-0 up and then they got their arse turned inside out.
Oh my god.
The traditional bottles of club.
But Julio, I completely agree with you as well about like Arsenal's collapse. It's coming. Else,
100% coming.
6 weeks' time, Arsenal will have dropped minimum 15 points in the league. Minimum.
I don't know. They went into April 8 points clear and they still bottled it.
Oh, they'll drop more now.
They will somehow bottle them. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be now. Could be in March, April.
This makes job, isn't it?
I really want to see. There's only one way I want to see. I hate Man City, but there's only one way I think Man City should win the league over Arsenal. Just beat them on goal difference on the final day. I've already suffered that enough. Let's let Arsenal fans know what it feels like, because they love to stick to us as well. I've been seeing that a lot recently. Arsenal fans telling them, "Oh, we would never lose the league on goal difference."
Oh, really? Well, they have to even get close to it first.
It's official. It's official, gentlemen. Antoine Semenyo is now officially signed for Manchester City. Sky Sports have just confirmed it. It's official. To be fair, I didn't really care. I never wanted him in Man United in the first place.
Don't blame me. But the one thing I will say with it, this, or Semenyo going, makes that even more precarious.
They are screwed.
They are in absolute freefall.
I actually feel bad for Areola as well. Not because he's a bad manager. We love Areola on this channel. We've championed Areola since day one when Bournemouth fans wanted him out. I think now, because he's lost Semenyo, Evan Nielsen will drop off now because he'll have no support.
Yep.
And you're on mute. But I also think the scary part as well is now people will say Areola's not good enough to get a bigger job.
Evan Nielsen's already dropped off this season.
I think Wesley is like steep, but it will be worse now.
Yeah. No, exactly. But I think on Areola getting a bigger job, I don't know. Thomas Frank's fortunes are not looking that great at Spurs right now. I think Areola's a shoe in there.
He could be, especially if he goes as well. Like, just look at some of the performances, and like with how Bournemouth have been recently, they were all right, But Colomwani, shocking. I don't even know what
Iriola schooled Frank
It's
in that
all over
game.
the place. He did. Van der Ven, shocking. Vicario, less said about that. Jed Spence has been dire.
I don't. What is it with these managers playing like wrong-footed fullbacks?
Just doesn't make sense.
I hate this crap.
It's this inverted nonsense. Do you know what
Yeah.
Do you know what was crazy about this game for me? I always thought Thomas Frank had a better scalability for a bigger job in terms of how he played football than Andoni and Iriola did. And then Iriola went and coached a win like this, and I'm like, oh god, that doesn't make my opinion that doesn't make me look good.
Mm.
Dan, that's a fair comment about Semenyo. To be fair, that's a fair comment.
True.
He's only a must-need now because we've sacked a manager who plays 10s, and now we need wingers. I think it was stupid to hire a manager who doesn't like wingers, bin all the wingers, even though that was the right thing to do, but only sign one winger.
Yeah. Even if you think about it, Mane didn't actually sign wingers because I don't even think Mbeumo's a winger. I think he's an inside forward. It's totally different. I actually don't think there's a lot of traditional wingers anymore. Like, that actually will work for Man United. I think Man United are so stuck on inside forwards, that's all they can do. Unless they actually sign wingers. But I don't think we're going to.
But the problem is nowadays, and it's a lot, mainly in the Premier League. I saw this in the when we play Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
If you're a winger, you're expected to cover now all of this. It's not about being a quality footballer in your position. It's about being an athlete, and it's about being adaptable. Like, you've got to cover playing a full winger, inside forward. You've got to know how to be a number 10. You've got to cover the lot.
I don't like that at all now about football.
It's wrong. It's completely wrong.
It's something I said on the show last Saturday as well, which makes me sick that I actually had to praise Michael Owen. But it's the fact that Michael Owen said nowadays about football.
He did say that, didn't he?
But Michael Owen literally said that footballers used to just be footballers. You weren't meant to be an athlete. If you had an athletic build and you actually worked hard on your body, then fair enough. Mm-hmm. But you weren't an athlete, you were a footballer. Now, you're not a footballer. You're an athlete first, then you're a footballer. I hate that shit.
And honest, for me, I know it's biased. The thing that sums it up is this game here. Athletes versus footballers. Ignore the score, because that wasn't just. First of all, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Maresca, another bust up with Todd Bowley. You cannot keep a manager in any shape or form. Never saw it under Abramovich. He was gunning for trophies. He was ruthless. Good relationship with the manager. If they weren't performing, gone straight away.
Except Ancelotti, which is still the weirdest sack Abramovich ever made.
That didn't make sense at all.
But that team, this is another thing as well that I absolutely hate. I know they're playing you guys in the cup.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way that big clubs disrespect certain clubs. Like, only one of their players there genuinely is their first team player, and that's Caicedo. I like Gittins. Like, you guys know that I really like Gittins. But he's not a first team Chelsea player, he's on the bench. I hate that disrespect that big clubs do towards smaller clubs by saying, we're just going to play one of our key players and then we're just going to play 10 chavs.
Yeah. Even then as well, I don't know what Maresca did, but this front line in the first half, and this is when he panicked and he had to put on 350 million quid of footballers. What was it? Garnacho, João Pedro, he was brilliant. Pedro Neto ended up scoring as well. He had to fix it. This lot were basically sent up saying, right, you're the front four, do whatever you like. Literally just an athlete, just tall and can run. Awful. Gittins had a really poor game. You could see the quality on him at times, but again, athlete. He was invisible and I forgot what he was playing. Completely. Made a few good runs, but I couldn't tell his position. Buonate, he grew into the game. But again, same thing. This was the biggest embarrassment, though. Shocking. Shocking. Very temperamental. He was just a lump. He's going to be a player.
He is something, Akimpong. I find it hilarious that in 2.5 years, Chelsea have gone from they are an elite striker, a goalkeeper, and a centre back from challenging, and they're still in the same place. Particularly a
That
centre
hat-
back.
Nowhere near.
That Hato as well is a decent player.
He is. It's just he wasn't used
I don't know
right.
much about that Akempong or whatever he's called. I don't know much about him, but I admit he's actually come on leaps and bounds. But
He's rapid.
yeah, I just think there's one player in that lineup though that I don't understand why Chelsea signed him. Why did they sign Buonanotte? It makes no sense. I actually thought he was still at Leicester or
I thought he
Brighton
was- well,
or
and
wherever
also-
the hell he was.
I
That's why.
swear he's a traditional winger as well. I
Yeah,
don't know why. Again, hipster.
No, I think Buonanotte was their little. They had like right midfielders who could play tens, quite a few of those, and I think he's an influx of one of those. I could be wrong on that one, but this was like this was one of those strange Blueco signings where I think they signed him for Strasbourg and then to Chelsea. I can't remember how they did it, but it was so weird.
yeah.
It was unnecessary, but still did it.
It's annoying that he plays for Dortmund. He was for Dortmund, but now for Chelsea. But it's annoying that Gittins plays for Chelsea because if you look at Man United, who are going to potentially go back to a manager who plays wingers, he is a genuine winger. He would have been fine for us.
What I would give for United to go for Barcola in the summer.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep my
But
mouth
it
shut
depends on the
that
manager.
one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
especially
keep
with the way you cooked him backstage as well.
yeah.
That's
I
what
may
I
have,
said.
I may have slaughtered him up for about 5
Yeah.
minutes straight before you
I
showed up.
just think. I mean, I just remember. I just think it's
I think
quality.
he's. I don't think. I think he's okay at best. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that good, but that's not because I don't think any worse of him. I just think if he's that good, then they wouldn't have needed. They would not have needed to sign Kvaratskhelia. You know what I mean? Even though he's such a phenomenal player,
Mm.
I don't think Barcola is genuinely great. I think he's decent though. I admit he's decent.
I see a ceiling, a good high ceiling there.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he upgrades our left wingers, right? Football club that no left wingers.
Yeah, this is
But
why
even
this is why I was saying for quite a while until Man United know what they're doing. I actually don't think Man United can go any wrong than playing a diamond midfield four. I don't actually think Man United would do any wrong doing that until they figure out what they need to do. Because we keep.
I think it
getting
works with a
things
lot of the
wrong.
players there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Currently,
same. Dan, honestly, same.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't
Definitely.
get bloody. I don't know why he doesn't get minutes. I don't get it.
oh,
What?
Verts danced through the Arsenal defense and then got body
Oh.
checked in the
I
box.
gotta see this.
It's gonna be a penalty, do you think?
I don't know.
I think that game finishes 1-1. By the way.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not a penalty.
Nah. If Arsenal
way.
don't win this game, they need to shoot themselves in the foot, because especially the first half, the amount of times they had wingers running into the box and getting past their man, but the final ball just wasn't there, and they had numbers in the box.
Oh,
Shocking. But another
Really?
thing I will say, going back to Maresca though as well, like how did he get that Chelsea team to perform so badly in what I will say a weak Cardiff City team? Like this isn't even full strength for us. I mean, he was at number 10, he was on the wing. But
It must be refreshing for you to say it isn't full strength.
I
and
know.
we actually lost for a change.
it does, and the fact we're technically walking the league as well is outrageous. Like he's our cover right back now. This defensive midfield area is weak as anything. You can't play those two together, Wintle and Turnbull. Well, pretty much because of injuries. Our best player, Ruben Cole's injured. So you're having to play his brother at Cam when he should technically be playing where Wintle's playing. Then you've got Davis and Ashford on the wings, which he's amazing, but that's weak as well. And then switch out Robinson and Salah up front, which is as close to full strength as you're going to get. The fact that Chelsea couldn't absolutely cook that team is concerning. Really, really concerning. And ultimately, that's what forced Maresca's hand to go.
I hope we stay away from Maresca.
You got to.
Same.
Look, good coach for
fucking
possession
echo that.
football, fantastic, great. Not for us. I don't
No.
want to see predominantly possession football. There we are. I don't want to see that at United. I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't want to start saying no to managers about the style of play, but I just think there are more elite managers who do something different that I would rather have.
definitely. And the thing is, when he's gone at technically two toxic clubs, he jumped the ship at one. When it all went wrong at Leicester, out the door, when they got up to the Premier League, he saw it from a mile off. It was going to be a disaster. Goes into Chelsea, starts okay, has a bust up with Bowley.
Yeah.
They really don't last long. And even then, this is what worry. I really rate Liam Rossini as a coach. Did a phenomenal job at Hull, phenomenal job at Strasbourg. Holly dragged them kicking and screaming early into the playoffs. They sack him, basically the same squad, nearly getting relegated, minus like Philogene and stuff. Strasbourg builds it from the ground up. Styler plays on point, plays to strengths, adapts the league to him, but he doesn't prioritize style over what's best for the team.
I think he did quite well at Strasbourg in the sense of how it was a new league for him.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of times where from possession he focused more on transitions because he saw that's how you can eat up in Ligue 1.
Yeah.
I think I think he's a good young coach, but I think this move comes too soon for him personally.
I think this. I said on Saturday, and I'm going to say it again, word for word. I think Rosenier's a decent manager, but I'm sorry, you can't convince me that he's got this job on merit. He's got this job because of the fact is of who owns Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Like I've got if he was managing any other French club except the cheating scum club that hires a woman abuser, if he was working for them, then I would actually understand it because he's worked hard for the Chelsea job.
I think it's the fact that he was doing well at their club.
It's the same.
Not that he did well at someone, because when Poch got sacked, Patrick Vieira was at Strasbourg.
It's the same conveniently for Farioli, which I hope we don't go for him either. But he was at the Nice job. Keep him in bloody Porto. I don't want any manager from Portugal again.
Well, here's the thing with Farioli. I found it interesting that this is a manager who has probably got as much chance of going to Bournemouth as he does coming to us. You know, and this was a manager who was linked with the Cardiff job 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, to be fair to Farioli, in terms of what he does with possession football, I actually like what he does with his team. But that's not to advocate for him. I would rather him than De Zerbi, but that's not to advocate for him to come in. I just think we need to look for a greater pool of managers. None of these young hipster coaches at the minute.
I genuinely think if not just where you are, but if you're actually familiar is a bad thing. So that's why I think there's so much pressure on Rosenior already. The fact that they've gave him a 6.5-year contract as well, like this whole amortization that Chelsea needs to stop. But
I think they'll have their own thing in the contract to say if he's not doing well in 2 or 3 years, there's an easy get out clause for the owners.
Yeah. I also think as well, and this is what goes wrong for Chelsea as well. When you look at Chelsea as a football club, in retrospect, like I don't identify Chelsea with possession football. To be fair, probably the best Chelsea have played in terms of possession football for me was probably Ancelotti's team because they kept switching up the system, but the style of play never changed. They started with a 4-3-1-2 with Anelka and Drogba with Lampard as the number 10. And they had a good solid base midfield for those three to go and absolutely tear shit apart. Then Drogba went to AFCON, so they played a 4-3-2-1, good old Christmas tree. Then they ended the season playing a 4-3-3 with Kalou, Drogba, and Anelka as the front three, and I'm like, but they kept scoring goals, they kept winning, nothing changed. But the possession.
This was an aging team, and he got a lot of goals out of them, and then lost a buttload of good players. that had been there for a while in the summer.
They've done him over so badly.
Was it Carvalho, Ballack, Joe Cole?
Yeah. They all left, and I was like, he wanted experienced signings in that made sense. And I mean, Ramirez was good for them, but that didn't make any sense.
They got Benny Union and Torres in January. And
exactly,
that
killed it for Ancelotti signing Torres, and that's why I quite like what Sir Alex Ferguson said about Ancelotti. He's like, they signed him for 50 million. You can tell Drogba's his main man, but he has to play Torres, which says a lot about Ancelotti. But like, great manager. He's another one. If he was available, I would have taken him. I don't care about, like, if you want a manager who plays tactical football, who has a tactical setup, then fine. If you just want a manager who will come in and play good football and will actually keep
it simple at an elite club, because Man United, I don't think Man United need a coach. I think we need a manager.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. If we get a coach, it will have to be an elite coach. You know, someone of the ilk of Klopp, for example.
It's why I said, for a joke, can we just get Jupp Heynckes or Marcello Lippi or Omar Hitzfeld out of retirement for a joke?
I mean, if Jupp Heynckes came in, this guy was the fixer at Bayern on more than one occasion. Comes in when there's problems. I would have loved it if he came into us. And I mean, that treble team is one of my favorite teams ever. Just so good, so ruthless.
Him with white players or Marcello Lippi by 4-3-1-2. It's strength in numbers in a box midfield. But I'm worried that Man United are going to... I am worried that if they give Solskjaer the job, they genuinely will give him the permanent job. I
don't think they'll give him the permanent job. I honestly
think they will.
Because their reputations will be on the line. The board will see that their reputations are on the line. There is no way they kill that by giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis. I am worried that they're not going to go for a serious appointment, though. I think what United... I mean, I tweeted it. My selection of managers. And tier one was like, you saw big hitters. You saw Conte, Tuchel, Enrique, and Ancelotti on there.
I would have Nagelsmann as a big hitter, but that's just because of like what I value.
Nagelsmann was only in my second tier, just because I think you get a better version of Nagelsmann if someone else has broken that ceiling before him. I think if you got Tuchel to come in and he brings us that league in 3 years.
How about this? Nagelsmann is a tier one, but he's a smart tier one appointment.
Nagelsmann,
because there's no way he's a tier two.
If they go for that young coach, Nagelsmann for me. There's no way he's a tier two manager. I'm sorry, he's not a tier two manager. He's not a tier two. Tier one was based on if I had to pick slots of 4 out of my preference. And those 4 experienced choices were just because Twitter won't let me do more than 4 pictures.
Because we're not paying for blue tech crap. Because we're
exactly. But it was those 4 were like.
Fair enough. I understand you. I do see your point about Manchester United need a manager, though. I also think, though, and this is. I look at the club as well, and this is actually something as well that I really don't like. You look at the people that are actually in charge of the club or own the club. They have no understanding of Man United at all. I'm sorry, Wilcox was ex-Leeds and Blackburn with Southampton. Yeah. I'm sorry, what's your credentials being the Southampton director of football to then be the Man United director of football? I'm sorry, but no, I don't care if it's a step up. Go from Southampton to, say, Everton, and then Everton, who are still a big club, Everton could then go to Man United, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Southampton to Man United, that is not... No. And
it's too big of a jump.
Berard are ex-City. There's so many ex-City staff at this club. And Blanc is no longer at the club anymore, which is crazy. He's gone. And he used to be in charge of Juventus. Why is he not still at this club?
Yeah.
Juventus, and he was on the PSG board.
Exactly.
Or in a different format, but for me, I think the problem I've got is, for me, it's got to be best in class. People who've done this kind of thing before, and I don't think it is that.
Huge.
And whilst I'm willing to give him an opportunity, you know, it looks poor right now. It looks really poor.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that fans are holding them to account. But I think there's too many cooks in this kitchen. There's too many voices. You got Wilcox and Vivel are arguing about what ingredients to put in it.
It's why I like what Mourinho said about before he left Real Madrid about Ancelotti, when Ancelotti left Real Madrid, with him and Perez. I like that. It's one president who clearly, even though he's a psychopath, you can tell that Perez loves Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he loves Real Madrid. And
I'm not
Ancelotti
against having
a president
basically,
and a manager.
I'll give you an example. Sir Alex used to do everything. Sir Alex and David Gill were all the possible roles in just two men. I'm more than happy to have different people working in synergy, specializing in each component of running a football club. That's fine. But what I think, the success starts on the pitch for me. And I think you need to have, as Manchester United, as a beacon of sporting excellence in this country, let alone across the world, you need someone elite who is going to challenge every year. You know, people talk about, I want a manager who maintains the standards of Manchester United that been set for years. No, just high standards of winning. Winning is how everything starts. You want to build a foundation for the future, start winning. Winning.
I seen a video the other day, and it's crazy, but it's actually a very honest take. It's actually not rage bait. It's just someone speaking from the truth. This guy was asked, what's your most unpopular football opinion? And this guy's response was, apart from Ferguson, with all his trophies, in between that entire period of Sir Matt Busby up until Sir Alex Ferguson got the job, Manchester United were not a big club. Like, in terms of like success, they were just a football club that had a horrible moment in their history for a tragedy, but they played exciting football. They won the odd FA Cup here and there, and people loved to watch them play. But they weren't unlike a Real Madrid, unlike a Barcelona or a Bayern Munich or the Milan clubs who were dominating Juventus. Manchester United were not a big club. This is what this guy said. He just said it. He's like, Ferguson made them a huge, big club again. They made you think, fuck, you want to go back to Man United. And I was like, you know what, even as a Man United fan, it's actually nice that someone just said that without... He didn't say it to rage bait. He didn't say it to offend anybody. He just said, look at the facts. In terms of statistics...
Thing is, though, that's where United are now. United are now a fallen giant. And there is this expectation of the world needs a good Man United. It does. The world needs a good Man United. And I think it's just got to be someone who can, you know, a manager who can not take it all on himself, because all the managers have done that. But it's got to be someone who understands the pressure of a big football club and knows that you just need to win. I think what annoys me is, for years, the fan base and the Man United legends and the pundits and whatever have had this arrogance towards certain managers because their style or character is not good enough. Like Conte. I was seeing years ago that people were saying Conte is not the right fit for Man United. And now I'm seeing people say, oh, United DNA, whatever, and then asking for Simeone. And that's not disrespect to Diego.
That is insane.
That's not disrespect to Diego Simeone, but make your point. Which is it?
Yeah,
because if you're saying no to Conte and saying yes to someone who's got less league titles than Conte, then what are we doing here?
Yeah,
that means when Conte had the chance to come in 7 years ago, you know, after Jose or after Oli, those two opportunities, if you'd given the manager the power, he might have scammed a league title, but we would have won that league title.
This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. I agree with you. I mean, I would be in charge. He would be.
No, we just fight all the time. We fight all the time.
I would pay to watch this.
Like, imagine Reece as coach and me as his director of football, for example. We'd just be fighting all the time.
No, don't even think you'd be above me in any shape or form. Don't think that. But never. The only reason you're above me on this panel is because I allow it.
No, it's the pecking order. Nathan's the almighty, me, and then there's 50-foot whale crab, and then there's you.
You wish. You wish. In retrospect, this is why I call out. There's not a single. There's actually, that's a lie. There's only one ex-Man United player that actually cares about Manchester United going forward as a success, and that's Owen Hargreaves. I'm sorry. Yeah. Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville. Sorry, Keane, but I have to say it. Roy Keane, they don't give a flying fuck if Man United succeed or not, because at the end of the day, they're getting that from Sky Sports and TNT. They're getting their money. Whereas Owen Hargreaves continuously says, it's not hard for Man United to succeed if they actually just bloody get on with it and go for what they need to get on with. The rest of them are always talking about all this, all that, and I'm like, so that's why I agree with your take.
To be fair,
About, that's why I
Paul
agree with your take
Scholes,
about he's a delivered black.
even Paul Scholes has stopped saying, "Oh, we need," because they're saying this United
Yes,
DNA
Keith,
stuff.
yeah.
But you say to them, "Get Tuchel in," then he's like, "Yep, 100% get Thomas Tuchel in."
This is what makes me laugh about the way, and I had people reply to this tweet, and it still makes me proud. It's the biggest myth of the entire club's history. There's no
youth,
such-
courage, success. Those three words sound. That's it. Manchester United is a football club with that philosophy.
Yeah.
Fine.
But when they say the Man United way or the Manchester United DNA, it makes me laugh because these are the type of people that I know don't care about the club. Because no real football fan says that. Let's be real. No one does. You've got to be either delusional or on the take or related to Samuel Luckhurst. Because in retrospect, there is no... See, Nagelsmann or Emery, I'm cool with that. But there's no such thing as the Man United way. Because here's the thing, and people are not going to like this. Jose Mourinho, Sir Alex Ferguson, and Sir Matt Busby all said the same fucking thing. Manchester United is about winning. It's about not just winning football matches, it's about winning trophies. And if you don't believe me, Sir Matt Busby said in an interview, and it's well recorded, he said he would hate to see Manchester United finish any lower than first. He says coming second to him is an insult. And that's why do you think when the very first thing Sir Alex Ferguson said when he came in as just Alex Ferguson 1986, that very first interview, the first thing he said was, the only way you win the European Cup is by winning the league. He never said the Man United way. He never said any of that shit. He said the only way to win the European Cup is by winning the Premier League or win the league. And I'm sorry, but that's Manchester United. Just like if you walk into Liverpool, you're not going to say the Liverpool way. You're going to go into Liverpool saying, no, I'm here to win the Premier League and I'm here to win the Champions League. You walk into Real Madrid, you're going to say, I'm here to win everything. Like, you go into a proper big club. You go to a proper big club and you tell first of all, if you say the squad is good, if you say the owners are good, and if you say this is a process, then you should be sacked on day one.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of which, Ole fans, he said the Glazers were good owners, by the way, so the fact that he went a Glazer sympathiser back makes me sick. Sick of these bastards. Not you, Keane, you're alright. But I can't stand all this shit. There's no such thing. Bayern doesn't have a process. Juventus don't have a process. Real Madrid don't have a process. Why do Man United fans always have to do this? Do they want to
turning into Arsenal fans?
Yeah, it makes me sick.
We are close to
A mix of Liverpool and Arsenal. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because literally since
we
the
just-
time
we
with
just-
Arteta, and they said it under Emery.
Forget it. We just need to win.
Just the
Just need to
process.
win. Because I tell you what, when that one guy comes in, he gets that first league title over the line, change everything.
Yeah.
I just want somebody who they know they're a winner. I think that tweet that actually, if you look on my Twitter, there's a tweet I put up about a manager that I want to come in. I didn't, even though I did say on the thread, I want the likes of Enrique or I want Nagelsmann. I said I want a manager who comes and says, you know what, I actually have some good players. I have some good players, but we need to add more. We need like 6 or 8 signings. And that'll
Klopp
take
said
us on.
that in his Liverpool interview.
Yeah.
One of the data analysts, Dr. Ian Graham, he came out in one of his interviews he did, and he said that in Klopp's interview, he was the one manager they interviewed at the time who said, I could still win with some of what's here. We don't need to rebuild everything.
It's not hard.
And I just think we need a manager who's going to come in, who just accepts that he's going to probably buy 6, 7, 8 players.
Yeah.
But still try and win with whatever he's got.
Yeah. This is another thing, and I'd like to know what you guys think about this, because I know I've said this a lot on the pod for years, and I've tweeted it so many times, but I stand by it. See, for all the people who think Manchester United can't sign 6, 7, 8 signings in a single summer, why do they refuse to believe that? Because a big club actually can sign those amount of players. We see all the world's big clubs do it. I think
Arsenal managed to do it. Berta managed to do it in the summer, and everyone called it Berta madness, and it's the best squad depth in the league's history, apparently, of the 20th century, or whatever Arsenal fans have said.
I think purposely, Manchester United as a football club don't sign more than 4 or 5 players in a single summer. It's because they know themselves winning a league title is bad for them. It's bad for them because then they go, oh shit, now we have to keep going now. And you can see it. They're so afraid.
They want a steady process.
Yes. Whereas
and it annoys me so much.
If we sign 6 or 8 top quality players or extremely good players for the squad, you've already improved the level of the squad already. I think they don't want to do that, and they deliberately want to sell the manager short, and that's why the manager comes out and says, oh yeah, I'm now happy with my squad. If you're genuinely happy with your squad, then you should be fired on the spot.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference between high standards and low standards. You wouldn't see anyone do that to Pep Guardiola or a prime Mourinho. The Mourinho we had wasn't prime Mourinho. That's why it was embarrassing.
He was yes man Mourinho for me.
Yeah, but like a prime version of that.
Can you imagine? Yes, 04, 05 Jose just walked in, just with his trousers down, just like, these are my bollocks. Each one represents how many leagues we're going to win.
I mean,
in the
to be
next
fair,
2
Bayern
years.
did that. I mean, to be fair, Van Gaal did that to Luca Toni, which is still the funniest thing ever. But that's the thing. Like, here's another thing as well. Look at Van Gaal's first season. Look how many players he signed. Since then, Man United have not come close to that amount of numbers in a single summer.
Van Gaal was a proper rebuild.
Yep.
And then after that, the team was decimated.
That's what a rebuild is. That's why I hate that buzzword, because people don't. It's like when people say aura, and that annoys me as well. Nobody does it. Nobody says it properly because they don't get it. Manchester United have only ever rebuilt the squad once in the last 13 years, and that was Louis van Gaal. Since then, they haven't rebuilt the squad. They haven't understood the squad as a whole. Instead, they've just played Monopoly with money that's now put the club in serious debt.
And then the whole time that you've done it as well, it's just been sellotape.
Yeah.
With this, it's just this squad sellotape together between ideas of one manager to another. Like, say, for example, this squad now, you've got bits of Anarim, where he finally got the system right, got you into 6th, sellotape to the absolute dross under Ten Hag, where he just abandoned his principles.
I mean, I'm about to put something controversial. I'm about to put something in the chat.
Our last 2 managers set this football club back years.
Yeah.
This is why I still don't understand where the whole 2028 we're going to win a league title comes from, unless they get someone like a Conte, unless they go crazy for Conte,
They
or
have
they
to
go
go
losing
for Conte.
weekend.
They have to go for Conte now or something, because I said to you before already, Reece, the fact that when Miranda said that, I'm worried we fail the first 2 years and then we somehow recover and stumble in the last 2. Can't afford that. You're going to have to... Honestly, I would happily take Conte, and I would happily give him all the power and give him all the players he wants, because he will get us to challenge. And yes, you'll think, oh, but what about the continuity of the squad after he leaves?
Who cares? We've won the league.
We've won a league, and I think that if you're smart, you'll get a manager who can work with a lot of what's there anyway.
Or you just
That's
go
what
for
continuity is. Squad
Yeah.
continuity isn't just about the team; it's also about the manager.
You know what?
Mancini, Pellegrini, Pep.
Actually,
Are they all the same?
No, there's something beautiful though. If Conte got the job and won the league, there's something so beautiful about that. Gary Neville would never have to speak on TV again.
Oh my god, that'd be the dream.
It would be beautiful to see it, because I actually think the more and more Man United are so far away from winning the league, he's happy. I've called him out before. He is a closet Liverpool fan. I've called him out on that for years. The way he spunks his load for Liverpool or for City on TV, you know it. He gets so excited about that. The way he, like, every time Man United could score a goal or they concede a goal, his attitude is totally different. It's almost like he doesn't want Man United to succeed or win. And people are going to say, oh, you're talking about club legend like that. I was like, yeah, I am.
Do you know what's mad?
but it's the way he acts. It's disgusting.
Do you know what's mad, actually? Something just occurred to me. The closest we've had to elite squad building was under Louis van Gaal.
Yeah.
In the sense
Yeah.
of we signed as many top players as we did, or top players in our eyes, or whatever.
It just
But
didn't
also,
work.
he decimated a lot of the squad, but he only signed enough to do a first 11 and a subs bench because he wanted to integrate the youth.
Which
He
is
left enough slots open in the 23, 25 man squad or whatever.
Yeah.
He left enough to get a lot of youth team players to train with the first team. And yes, we got decimated with injuries, and yes, obviously we had that really bad December period, but he gave a lot of debuts for a reason.
That's a brilliant point.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's as close to the United way as probably we've had. We won a trophy. Obviously, maybe the football is questionable, but he was trying to make us tough to beat. He wanted to make us free-flowing attacking, and then we held 5-3 at Leicester, and then he decided we're never doing that again. We're never doing that again.
I think
And he integrated so much of the youth.
I have a theory, and this is where I think it got wrong. This is where I think it went so wrong for Van Gaal. Van Gaal wanted us to be Ajax 1995, but he realised it only worked in the Eredivisie because that squad was purposely built to play that 3-4-3 diamond or a 4-3-3. It was purposely built for that, whereas when it came to Man United, he played so many systems that it didn't translate. If he had played a 3-4-3 diamond for the very goal, Louis van Gaal actually would have been fine.
I think he started with a 3-5-2, didn't he?
He started with a 3-5-2, yeah, and it didn't translate. You actually look at that squad. I'm not even kidding. You look at that squad from 2014-15 when he gets the job, right?
We just need a centre backs. We really need a centre backs because they're just not league title quality.
Yeah, but you play a 3-4-3. The 3-4-3 that he played specifically was a flat back. He played a flat back three that could play with the ball. You have a holding midfielder, two box-to-box midfielders that have got energy and can pass the ball, but they can also create and score goals. You've got a traditional number 10 that can also score. You've got a target man up front, and you've got two wide players. His team already in a 3-4-3 changes with Robin van Persie as his target man, Wayne Rooney is his number 10, Michael Carrick as his holding midfield player, Angel Di Maria on the right wing, properly. And then on the left wing, I don't know, maybe like Nani before he binned him. Or you sign a younger left winger. The two central midfielders beside him, maybe one of them's Ander Herrera. The other one, you figure out. Get a goalkeeper that can actually pass the ball out, because to be fair, De Gea, for all he's worth at that
That
time,
was one thing he didn't have. And
Januzaj as well. Logic is right
even
there.
Antonio Valencia. If you're playing him on the right hand side, Antonio Valencia is one of the wing backs.
Yeah.
Even in a free, even in his 3-4-3 diamond, a front three of Van Persie, Di Maria, and Valencia as a front three actually doesn't bother me at all. And Wayne Rooney is a number 10. It's already there. It's already problem solved. I actually like the 3-4-3 as a diamond. I prefer the diamond form because I like to control the midfield as a diamond. I don't like it when it's a flat 4 midfield.
Well, he did play Rooney a lot in the midfield when he played 3 at the back, because he started off with a 3, then he went to a 4, and then over the Christmas period he took it back to a 3 again. He kept playing with 2 strikers and kept putting Rooney deeper in the midfield
to complement Falcao and Van Persie, which shamefully didn't work. But yeah, I would have played the 3-4-3 diamond. I still would now, personally. I actually really like that system because I like the fact you don't need. You look at people are going to say, "Oh, but United don't have the players to play a 3-4-3 diamond." We actually do.
Amram did it last season against Sociedad.
Yeah, it just wasn't the proper. Just didn't. You just couldn't bother to do it with us. You actually look at it, you dominate it because it keeps Fernandes in his number 10 position where he actually should be playing. You've got Kobe Mainu and Casemiro in the midfield, and then somebody not named Ugarte is the holding midfielder, and then you just figure out the front three. It's not hard. Right now, front three of what? Ahmad and Buemo and Cunha as a front three and a 3-4-3 diamond is terrifying. Especially with Lamin's protected in goal by Martinez, DeLitt, and Lenny Euro as centre back. Job done. Not hard. Why do people overcomplicate football? It must be the cocaine.
If
Gotta
only
be.
we had a manager who could come in and just not overcomplicate everything.
Yeah. Shocking, eh? Who's next? Who are we going to slander next? Because we've
I
given United
reckon-
too long.
For
I
me,
don't-
there's one place to slander, and I can't remember the last time a gap this big has formed at the bottom. So first of all, and this is frustrating because this is where I got so wrong. He's out of sack watch now.
How the hell did he do that, though?
That's what it's because
I've been watching it with my jaw dropped.
He actually
he's
he
changed it.
decided to stop being a stripper and he decided
Yeah.
to be a manager. I hate that shit.
He played 3 at the back, Reece.
He played
He
a
played a
3-5-2.
3-1-4-2. He played a 3-1-4-2, 3-5-2, whatever. And it's working. And he's getting goals
Yeah.
out of the donkey of all donkey strikers.
Yep.
And Brendan Aaron.
I do praise him for
Yeah.
actually going 3-5-2 though, because the fact is he had to solidify that team and it's worked. It finished 2-1 Real Madrid in that Super Cup game.
Interesting.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous down there. Wolves, biggest disgrace in Premier League history for me by
Yeah.
a mile. I know they're not as bad as the Derby team for me, purely because that Derby team was being pumped 5-0 every week. This
I
lot
still
close,
hope
but-
they break I still hope Wolves break the record just for the ultimate downfall.
I think they will. Ultimately, Vitor Pereira sacking him so early, stupid decision.
Yeah.
When you sell everyone in summer, barely so well. They spent loads of money as well, but it was just on nothingness.
Yeah.
Players who flopped everything. It was never going to work. But bring Rob Edwards in, who basically downs tools when you have Middlesbrough in automatics, comes to Wolves, does nothing. Squad not built for him, all over the place.
You must be happy
they
he's
do.
not Cardiff or Wales now, mate. You must be well happy.
Absolutely over the moon, honestly. Ooh, Szoboszlai nearly just scores. But with Wolves, though, when they get relegated to Championship, it's not if, it's when, as far as I'm concerned. They're going to be mid-table. None of those players on those stupid contracts are going to stay around. They can't afford it. Fossen basically running out of money. They're having to massively draw back funding. And the place is just a disaster. Same with West Ham.
It could be another back-to-back relegations.
Just
Honestly,
like
that's
what
how
was
much.
it, 2012.
Yeah, it could be cataclysmic.
But it's mad how quickly it's fallen apart. Because, like, what, 6-7 years ago? First season Europe. Jorge Mendes, the system was working perfectly. Shouts to Ronaldo in 2020. Ever since from then, overspending, PSR.
That team, honestly, quality.
I know. Just absolutely scandalous. And then you got West Ham. Nuno, imagine that. I nearly thought he was going to get... Well, he got sacked at Forest when he played West Ham. And he nearly got sacked at West Ham when he played Forest.
Would you know
When
what it
has
is?
that ever happened?
I think they'd be stupid to sack him because I can't think of anyone probably better suited. That's what to say. He's
Yeah.
incredible, this elite manager, but I don't see David Sullivan. They've already started buying for him in January.
Yeah.
With buying probably 5 goals worth of strikers for like 50 million quid in total. But also, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, who else are you going to bring in? You're going to bring Graham Potter in? You know, bring him back into this absolute shit show that he caused in the first place. I think it was malpractice that he looked at the squad with the board at the start of the season and thought, yeah, it's all right. It's Premier League worthy for the season now. Stupid. Well, honestly, since Moyes left, as much as I think it was the right decision for both parties to move on, they have done nothing but cock it up ever since.
Yeah.
And it's just worse and worse and worse. And as good as Nuno is, I worry that... Do you know, I actually think the wrong managers are the wrong club. I think Sean Dyche would have been great at either West Ham or Wolves.
I'd say more West Ham. Wolves are a disaster case.
Yeah. No, but I think West Ham, Wolves, have some big physical players that Sean Dyche would have had a field day with. He would have at least got something.
I don't
not
think
saying
he's.
it's the
I don't think
answer.
he's. I don't think he's the Nottingham Forest manager next season at all. Sean Dyche.
Absolutely not. This is like that Big Sam to Everton. He's going to be here, even though it's an 18-month contract. He's only going to be here till the summer. And Marinakis is probably going to look for some bigger name out there somewhere. I haven't quite figured out who yet.
That he can't afford.
Mancini probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he'll come.
And also, he's got to work with him as well.
I mean, we've already seen what he treats about managers who are still baffling that he sacked Nuno just because Nuno didn't get Champions League when Nottingham Forest weren't even good enough to get into the Champions League.
If it wasn't him,
they bottled it, and they massively overachieved with that squad as well.
Exactly. Well, Forest massively overachieved on many fronts. From their style of play was not sustainable to get them to do the same things to the end of the season. There was always going to be a fall off. Not to mention, a lot of times they narrowly missed out on conceding goals from like last ditch off the line clearances and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like heroic defending. That wasn't always going to last either. Matt Sells looking like a one-season wonder at the minute.
Yep.
So there were a lot of things that, that fall off was always going to happen. I think it was ridiculous that the owner expected otherwise. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, like I said, West Ham should have sacked Potter sooner, and they would have got Dyche, and I think he would have been so much better for them. But they didn't, and Nuno's in there now.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse.
West
Ham, they're another club. Like, Jared Bowen's going to have to go in the summer with his wages.
Well, here's the problem. Where does he go? Because the kind of money West Ham will want for his age, no one's going to pay for him. True. They're almost going to have to accept cut price.
And even then, like Premier League wise,
he doesn't
where he goes.
I'll say this respectfully: Jared Bowen doesn't start for any club that's actually currently above West Ham in the league. He doesn't start for any of them. Like
maybe see him replacing Semenyo at Bournemouth.
I don't even think he starts for Bournemouth.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I think he's fallen off so badly that he does not start for any of them.
Do you reckon he'd be a championship one and done then? Do you reckon
he might end up staying?
Yeah.
Either he stays at West Ham, or I genuinely think he might go to, like, I don't know, maybe France or something. I hope he goes to France just so he can break Mason Greenwood's legs.
No, I think what happens is someone takes a punt because they see an opportunity to get a decent-ish player on a cheap buy. Whether he will perform for them is the next thing. But
if you're taking a punt though, he's not the player you want to take a punt on. That player's Lucas Paqueta, provided he doesn't bet again. Provided he doesn't.
But
they're not keeping him in the championship.
I don't think boards
either.
And I don't think the boards in this league are smart enough. I think maybe someone like a Tottenham, or a Liverpool, who love a bit of a vanity project or see the data behind it, they'll take a punt.
It's mad as well, depending on who they get in the summer. Well, actually, that's if he stays, because I did think he was going to end up losing his job. It'd be, if I was Newcastle.
Sorry, Everton. It just occurred to me, Everton are in dire need for an out-and-out right winger.
Yeah.
They're playing Ndiaye out there to accommodate Grealish on the left. But I think if they sign Grealish permanently, he plays more centrally, and they bring Ndiaye back on the left. You get Bowen out on the right. It's definitely the sort of thing Everton would do. To be fair, Everton or Newcastle,
and he's a Sean Dyche type player as well.
I did say on here in the summer that I'm surprised when David Moyes went back to Everton. I'd be like, surely he takes Jared Bowen with him. Surely he's got the money.
That scenario might be there now, actually.
But I do think
vanity projects of some kind.
But I think because they've got so many good Brazilian players in their team already, I can see them potentially, if they lose Tonali, I could see Paqueta going to Newcastle.
Paqueta to Newcastle, Bowen to Everton. I think that's what happens in the summer.
That would be
Paqueta and Bruno Guimaraes have a prior relationship, do they not?
With Joe Linton there as well.
Mm.
That's a physically creative midfield.
It is.
And I don't like Newcastle. I actually think Eddie Howe, fair play him. He's
I wonder
actually
if we go
survived
for
from long-
Paqueta. There's been a long-standing. When I say
I don't
long-standing,
think we-
there
I
has
don't think we
been
do.
rumours.
We've already
Cool.
got Cunha, mate. We've got Cunha. We don't need
Mm.
another Brazilian. Especially with Casemiro on the way out, I actually don't want another Brazilian. I actually want I actually want more Argentines in the team that actually do understand what football is, which isn't Garnacho.
Or Christian Romero.
Yeah, like I want to see some good Argentines in the squad. Martinez, I don't think he's got much left, to be honest. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Fletcher didn't play him in midfield against Burnley. He should have done. That for another day, I suppose. There's a few.
Oh,
There's one Argentine player out there right now that I would snap my hand off to sign, and that's Sula.
Yeah.
He is right beside Yildiz, and Pulisic is the best players in Serie A by a fucking mile.
Another one you've got to add to the fraud watch in that bottom bit. Scott Parker.
mean-
New stripper club.
He's already on fraud watch. He's never gotten off it.
he's always been on
doing that.
fraud watch. I think, Burnley are trying with their resources. That's about it.
Yeah.
Here's a question, lads. That's concerning.
They just don't have the goals. They don't have goals in their team. I do like
Yeah.
a couple of
It's
players
just
in their,
his style of
in their
play.
entire squad, but they just don't have goals.
I have an interesting question for you, gents. They think in the summer, I mean, the fact that Man United didn't sign Ricardo Rios, they let him go to Benfica, I would still take him. There's still rumours potentially that Ruben Amorim takes the Benfica job in the summer. That Mourinho's only there till the end of the season, which I actually think he should get another season. I don't think they should bin him off straight away. But here's the weird take I have. I think he'll have a point to. You feel like he'll have a point to prove in the Premier League still. I feel like he's admitted that he's taken Palace as far as he can. Glasgow, which I respect. The fact he's come out and said, I'm leaving at the end of the season, I'm not signing a new contract. He's already won more trophies than Arteta or any Palace manager in their entire history. Could we potentially see Palace take a risk and hire Ruben Amorim to that squad?
Possibly.
No, I don't think Amorim gets another Prem job. I think any
I don't think so
any-
either, but
any board of directors will look at the Amorim experiment at United and they'll see the deficiencies, which this league is unforgiving when it comes to stubbornness towards one system, failure to adapt, failure to build on.
yeah.
When you've got a one-dimensional system and a one-dimensional style of play, the minute you get found out, this league is unforgiving. We saw Southampton come to Old Trafford and tear the system a new one. And if it wasn't for an Ahmad hat-trick, we wouldn't have seen points. Genuinely. And then Newcastle away.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think Amorim gets another job. I think just what his philosophy is, it's not sustainable in this league because teams further down there can just as easily finish top half as they can close to the relegation. All it takes is, like we saw the Frank de Boer experiment. Dutch guy goes in, wants to play football at Palace, who've just survived relegation under Big Sam. Suddenly, 4 or 5 games in, they're bottom of the league with no points, no goal, nothing. It's pathetic and useless. This is where I would envisage maybe, because you see Bournemouth now. Look at Bournemouth now in 15th. Iraola in 15th, and this guy's getting linked with big jobs. Do you know what I mean? As good a coach as he is, it doesn't make good reading. All it takes is for Amorim to go into Brighton and take him to the bottom.
I've also with Iraola, he has had his assets
failure
stripped.
onwards is bad for the league, or whatever the phrase is. Rewarding failure is unacceptable in football, but yeah, clubs love to reward failures. I don't get it.
This society rewards mediocrity a lot. Look at Southgate.
Massively.
This is why it's funny that
Southgate to Palace.
yeah. But this is what I still think. This is my whole point about the failure to reward upwards. That's why Arteta's still in the job at Arsenal. Like, people think Arteta's doing good things at Arsenal. Name me one thing Arteta's done well at Arsenal. And if you say the fact he's in the top
I've got
4,
it.
then you're
No,
just
no.
stupid.
Bullshit his way into 3 second place finishes
Yeah.
with all this phase chat and these stupid gimmicks. Honestly, have any of you guys watched Suits? Right?
Yes.
You know Donna, when she does her "I'm Donna" gimmick, we are this close to Arteta doing his own "I'm Donna" gimmick. That's where we are with his gimmick merchant, with his
he will say
pickers
I'm
at dinner,
Arteta.
with his royal his RAF visits and whatever. This fucking Edison invented the light bulb. Guys, come on, guys. Phase 5.
I actually think I'll go one further. He will think that he is I've not watched it in a wee while, so I'm just trying to remember. It's a Suits character that funnily enough, the English guy that Donna went with.
Oh, I know who you mean. Oh, what's
Him.
his name? Oh,
Because he's a
Stephen Huntley.
Yeah. I think he thinks he's Stephen Huntley. He's a cocky wee bastard. He thinks he's a hard man. He's no. And when people stand up to him, we see how much a bitch he really is. Arteta
He's just
is
thrown
that.
into a mirror.
I mean, no coincidence Stephen Huntley's English, and English are wimps. No offense, Julio. But it's a logical standpoint. You look at him, Arteta's weak. But he thinks he's that. I don't rate Arteta as a manager. I've said it constantly. His football isn't good. People praise his football for thinking it's good, but they'll shit on someone like Simeone who plays the same style of football.
Yeah.
The difference is Simeone has played the best Real Madrid teams of all time. He played that Luis Enrique team, and he still won league titles. He still won European trophies. He still won Copa del Rey's. Arteta can't even fucking win a Premier League in the weakest league in the top 5. I said that as well.
He's not winning Premier Leagues from winning positions. He's not winning cups. He's sticking his nose up at cups. I don't think he's got past the 4th round in 5 years.
No,
and that was when they win it.
He wouldn't even win the
But
Bundesliga
remember, lads,
or
trust
Liga.
the process.
I actually say this
Every time.
If you swap jobs, if you swap Arteta with Luis Enrique right now with that PSG team, he still doesn't win Liga.
Yeah.
You'll start asking for set pieces. You'll start getting Ousmane Dembele on corners to head in the set pieces.
He turns Vitinha into a fucking right back. Oh. In fact, no, he has to do his trust the process. He'll turn Vitinha into a fucking left back.
And a bad one at it as well.
And he'll sign Calafiore, and those weirdos will claim that he's better than Maldini. I still can't.
Do you know
believe
what I
they say
think
that.
a lot of people forget with Arteta? Managers can have ceilings.
Yeah.
I think Arteta. I think if Arteta doesn't win the league this season, that's his ceiling. 2nd place. That's it. Because especially in the summer, Berta gave him enough for me.
It has finished 0-0 Liverpool-Arsenal, but Connor Bradley was stretchered off.
Yeah, there was a bit of a brawl there as well, apparently.
I don't advocate injuries. Oh, Rafael scored. Oh, never mind. They drew 1-1. 92nd minute against Genoa at home after Lorenzo Colombo scored in the first half. But then again, 17 games unbeaten. But it just means that Milan are now 3 points behind Inter in the league. Ugh.
Do you know what though? Like, I just want to say about these leagues. People say Premier League is looking competitive. I'm sorry, Nathan. Could you scroll up for me?
Yep.
The most competitive league in the world is still Serie A. People need to accept this.
No. But do you know what
That
it
is
is?
ridiculous.
This league, our league, the Premier League, not competitive. Everyone's just shit. The standards of the Premier League are so bad.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's.
Nathan, keep that tab open. Keep that tab open and open a new tab and look at the current look at Serie A and look at Ligue 1 right now.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look.
Maybe look at La Liga, but I don't care about La Liga.
Right, we'll start with Liga.
Wait to see the difference with Len at top of the league. That's competitive.
Yes.
That right there is competitive football.
Even then, straight down all the way through. except for all these frauds at the bottom,
Yeah,
especially that one and that one.
Although to be fair play to Nantes for beating Marseille though. That's the only good thing they've done all season. And notice how French Ineos FC are close to the relegation zone, but people praise our bloody owners.
Exactly, and also constantly sacking managers as well, may I add.
Mm-hmm.
It's Liga. Right,
Yep.
let's go to that. Yeah, let's do a bit of La Liga next. Let's have a look.
Yep. This isn't competitive.
Nowhere near.
You're
top two, and then just
after the top four, it's not competitive at all. Like that top four is the same top four that it's been for a long time.
yeah. Even then, as well, a lot of the traditional big clubs in Spain. Let's go through them as well.
They're struggling.
Average, yeah, struggling. Embarrassments.
I like Bilbao though, because I like the fact that they at least they stick to the whole Basque thing, but they are not backing Valverde.
Nowhere near.
Like they don't back him. I was like, you got to back him. He's a good manager.
But yeah,
sorry, Dad. Why I didn't realize they were 15th. Jesus,
Yeah.
Sevilla are finished. Sevilla as a football club, they're done.
I mean, that's a massive fall from grace considering what they were building as well.
Girona and Valencia. Girona is
That's
a
a big embarrassment.
Yeah, if Valencia get relegated, that'll be the biggest shock in football.
100%. In fact, it's bad time to live in Valencia at the minute.
It's horrible over there. I feel sorry for them. But
Yeah.
Girona as well. Girona were like, what, top 3 in La Liga last season. They're down to 17th.
Yeah, so-called Man City project, isn't it?
Yeah. And then
Champions League, everything.
look at the Bundesliga. By the way, Yvonne Diamande, he has been phenomenal for Leipzig and Ivory Coast.
I hate the fact that he was available for like under 20 million quid in the summer, and now we're being linked with 70 million pound moves.
Yeah. Again, people are not going to disagree, but that's competitive.
I mean, ultimately, Bayern have won the league, but just Champions League alone, even down, I'd probably just say down to Freiburg. To be honest, you could. I don't think Werder Bremen or Cologne will get in there, but
I think Hamburg will shoot up in the second half of the season. But like Mainz as well, but it's a shame they're so far down. A soft spot for Mainz for like the coaches they develop, but Hoeneß is still doing good for Stuttgart. He's quality.
I like Hoeneß.
The Leipzig manager literally bolted from Bremen and went 4-2-2-2. We're going to play a 4-3-3 going forward, and he's actually got them balling. It's good to see Leipzig actually playing wingers for a change.
Yeah, it's a nice change. And then we go to this
the best league in football.
Mm-hmm.
This is competitive.
Look at that.
That is football at its best.
Even then, you can still bring like. I know while you're in. But...
Hold up! No! Hold up! Hold the phone. 7 losses for Roma, and they are joint 4th with Juve.
Yep.
Crazy.
And bear in mind,
I'm sure the level is just so
high,
low that everyone is the same. Do you know what I mean? I could probably shoot off one of the teams on there and not know which one it is because they're all so weak.
Yeah.
Could it potentially be that?
But that's the major difference between a top league and Serie A.
Look how many losses are in that. Everything after 8th. Look how many losses are in those league results. Jesus.
Yeah. It's such a better league to watch.
No one's winning though.
Except for a few teams. But that's what makes this league so good.
Yeah.
Show me Milan's record. Excellent.
11-6-1.
Not quite as good as Inter's, but 11-6-1 is still not a bad record.
I mean, there's 17 games on. There's 17 games unbeaten. Milan have not lost a single game since the very first game of the season. Milan lost the first game of the season. They haven't lost in the league since. And that was against Cremonese. Like Como with Fabregas, the richest club in the league, they have to keep Fabregas.
Yeah.
But he's done really well for them. I'll tell you one thing. This is what I like about Roma. There's something I like about Roma. Gasparini was like, they're not re-signing Dybala. because they want to put all the effort into Sula, which I get, even though Dybala's been good for them. Gasperini literally came out at the turn of the year and said, I am never playing Ferguson again. He is not good enough for a top club.
He
That is
doesn't
the,
rate. I mean, Ferguson
love
scored
that.
quite recently, but he's just not having Ferguson.
he's not a good player.
He's really
and,
not having him.
And I see Man United fans saying, "Oh, let's sign him for like whatever," and I was like, "He's shit." It's
Hang on,
fucking.
the 80 million chat was like 3 years ago. Come on
Mm.
now, we're not there anymore.
He's still shit, and it's nice to see that people are not taking it like anymore, and it's good to see. But it's crazy that top three, that is going to be the same top three for so many years to come. But that doesn't mean that doesn't make the League a Farmers League. It's the fact that two of those clubs have turned themselves around. Napoli are far more competitive than what they were 10, 15 years ago. It's forcing Juventus and Roma to get better, which has allowed Atalanta and Bologna to step up even more. But the
For me,
reality
this is the most competitive top league in Europe
yeah,
by a
and
mile.
the fact is as well, this is a league that has now got both Milan clubs back at their best, and they're nowhere near like proper rejuvenated as well, which is good. Like, this is reality. I feel, that is true though. The French league will always have the Farmers League rep, but in recent years, there's been more different winners in Ligue 1 than there has been the Premier League.
There has.
The Premier League is the one true Farmers League.
And even then, you can't even say that Liga is a Farmers League, because if you look at it, second division within the last 10 years, where are they as well? Second division early 2010s.
Yeah.
Spell in second division, recently promoted. Spell in second division.
Fraudulent club, Nice, but yeah.
Massively. Spell in
where's
second division.
Where are they?
Pretty sure they've had a spell. And then look
Where's-
at Marseille's issues.
Oh, they're Lille, yeah. Well, fuck Marseille. Lille as well. Like, there's been more winners in Ligue 1 in the last 10 years than there has been the Premier League. You look at the last 10 years, it's mostly the same club.
All it's been is Man City, Liverpool, Leicester,
And Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah, there's been no other team. That's a Farmers League.
Yeah. And
But
even
nobody
then
wants
as
to
well,
say that though. Nobody wants to say
Hang
that
on.
with the Premier League though.
I'm going to say a really bold take as well. I think it's now, first of all, I've said it loads on this pod. No longer the top 6, it's now the top 10, with some of the clubs getting there. But when you go down, obviously we've had the years where the same teams that have come up have gone straight back down. That narrative's over.
Well,
Yes,
it's just
three
for
new
one,
teams
only
going
for one
down.
of those.
And in fact, there is a good chance that either of these, pretty much all of these teams actually, not only some of them won't even make the playoffs, they will not come straight back up. And that's because the gap with some of the top of the teams in the championship
It's quite
is
competitive
closing.
in the championship this year.
Really competitive.
Except for Coventry.
But
Which
they've
is-
just nailed it over the years. And Frank Lampard's doing a great job. Good owner in Doug King. And it's what's been coming for years, really, with them. But
You know what's crazy as well is
this is competitive.
I'm still surprised. Like, if we need to check our predictions, we need to have a look at them tonight.
Yeah.
We need to
Get
check
them
what
back
we
up.
all
See how well we did halfway through the season.
No. We need to see what we, because I can't remember what I said for Wrexham, but it's mental that they are 9th in the league.
Yeah. Hang on,
I did say I thought they would do well, but I'm shocked that they are 9th in the league.
Right, let me get the Excel file up.
I'm not surprised by Leicester's league position, by the way.
I'm not either. They are
Like,
in
No.
they are so
dire
bad.
straight.
Even though I think we all said they would come straight back up, but Jesus Christ, they have failed.
Yeah.
I think we all said they'd come straight back up, but we all also knew that it would be down to struggles. So it wouldn't be easy.
Southampton have failed us, by the way, in the predictions. We've all lost
Oh my
massive
God,
points because of Southampton.
I haven't. I said they struggle. I don't know what's going on with my Excel. It's not coming up for some reason.
Will still is.
Left the
really
building.
I thought he was going to do all right, but I think he badly underestimated the league, which is another scary thing about Liam Rosenior.
It's what people do with the championship. Although coming from Ligue 1, I thought actually Will still might,
Yeah.
Dominate.
give I thought he might do all right.
And I
in
agree
the
with that. To be
Championship
fair,
League and physical leagues.
I agree with that comment, Dan. Even though I don't watch the Championship a lot, I've been watching a few games recently. I agree, it's more competitive than the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing how clubs can still spend money and still be competitive with the poorer sides.
Yeah. I think the Premier League is just TV money and a couple of clubs to name, but in retrospect, it doesn't come close to another top 5 league
Even
for actual
even the
football.
punditry in the Championship is better.
It's on another level. It's not deluded. It's a lot more biased, and you don't have like Gary Neville just spouting nonsense every 5.
Yeah.
No, but you actually get some insight from some of the pundits on there. You're
Yeah.
actually getting some good chat.
Let's see. Nathan had Wrexham 19th. Wrexham 15th for Julio. Where did I have Wrexham? I was too kind to Wrexham, wasn't I? I said 15th as well. That's
yeah.
It's crazy. Coventry in 7th. I had Nathan had them in 2nd. So I've lost points on Coventry, huge, but I've lost points on Ipswich and Southampton.
I think Watford kind of surprised us all.
Where did I put Southampton? Oh, 4th. Yeah, Watford. I think the biggest one for all of us is Hull.
So yeah,
to get
that's actually a
relegated.
good point. Yeah, Christ.
That's
They've. But to be fair though, this is what I don't like about the Championship. A team like Hull City should not be in top 7 with a fucking goals conceded number like that. How can you be 7th in the league with 38 goals conceded? I'm sorry.
That's disgraceful.
I love how symmetrical Ipswich's is. Look at their goals for and goals against.
But they scored a lot of goals
City,
though.
and then Yaya at Barcelona.
Can we just say as well? We've got another very, very quiet one here. Preston, 23rd.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Where did I have them?
They were supposed to be shit.
They were 20th.
They were supposed to be shit.
I'm not as bad. At least I'm not as bad as you when it comes to Preston. At least I didn't have them in the relegation zone.
True.
Do you know where it's crazy though? League One is actually quite insane. I think Christmas Day and Northampton Town were close, were very much mid-table. I think they were just in the top half. They're now 19th. It's been 3 weeks and they've played a few games.
We absolutely destroyed you though at your place.
Yeah, I know you did. Fuck it out.
Blackpool are a mad one as well at the minute.
Yeah, here's the standings here. Yeah, Blackpool just absolutely rocketed. But look at how close it is
look how close, yeah.
Table.
You go from 10th, suddenly you lose a couple of games, and suddenly you're where Northampton are, which is quite a way down.
I think we're resigned now to an unfortunate reality. The days of I think we're at that point now where the likes of Bolton and Portsmouth will never be back in the Premier League. They seem stuck. They seem stuck to these leagues. Reading as well.
Especially Bolton. Bolton never seem to get out of League One, and yet it's like you think Bolton are kind of like Hamburg in a way. Hamburg were challenging for promotion every year, pretty much in the second Bundesliga, and they never came up.
Eventually,
Sometimes
they decide.
It feels like that with Bolton.
You know what got Hamburg out of the Bundesliga? To Bundesliga. See if you go and look at their stats, and you look at how Hamburg played last season before they got promoted. Hamburg decided that's it. We're no longer going to play fancy football. Hamburg just attack you now. Like they're struggling this season, but you look at the season before. Hamburg went on an assault path. They basically decided we're just going to play like an absolute riot.
There they are.
Oh my god!
They went crazy. They just went. You know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go carnage. And look at Cologne. Cologne are only, 2 positions higher than Hamburg in the league, I think.
Scored much less goals.
15 goal difference. 53-78.
Yeah. See, in the Bundesliga, right, the current Bundesliga, I think Cologne are 10th in the league, whereas Hamburg are 13th.
Yeah, no, 11th at the minute.
So
but
2 places
to come up as well. And
same points as well. Same points as well.
Mad. But yeah, even though could you technically say this is starting to get to the bit of walking?
If you beat
no,
if you beat Lincoln and Bradford, then yes. If you don't in the second half of the season, then yes. But at the minute, this is the part I don't like for you, and I'm always honest when it comes to your club. When it comes to this right now, if you say you crack 80 plus points, because there's still 22 games to go.
Yeah.
It's 46 games you play. You play another 22 games, so 3 times 22, I'm pretty sure is 66 points.
Yeah.
So if you were to win all of that, get another 66 points, finish on the final tally right now at the end of the season with 117 points, you don't crack 50 points next season, the championship next season. You don't even crack half your current that point tally. And the reason why is because your owner, because we know he's a pleb, he'll go, oh, we won the League One in flying colours. We don't need to invest in this squad. Even though you actually need to.
Most importantly, what's he doing in January?
Nothing.
Correct. Do you know why?
Because he can't afford it. And you're
No.
top of the league.
Top of the league.
Because we're top.
Massively. And if you go to the squad as well, he's realised, because he's trusted Barry Murphy in the summer, get rid of all the deadwood. This around Christmas is deemed okay.
Which it really is not. I mean, fair play. You've actually turned Willock into a decent player, but we know why. That Robertson's good though. I rate that Robertson.
He's class.
But I look at your team, you still need to invest. Because when
On
you get
top
back
of
to the
that as
championship,
we got one senior left back. Bacon's legs are going to die at some point.
It's going to be mental when you get back to the championship though, and the first thing within your first 5 games of the season, I guarantee one of the first 5 games is Wrexham away.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Second weekend of the season, and it'll either be the lunchtime or the Sunday. It'll be televised. It'll be a big thing.
Yeah. And then Cardiff will actually lose. And I'm not saying that because I want you to lose. I'm saying you will lose. And
yes, you do. You want the head loss.
He always does.
Yeah, I do like the head loss, to be fair. But I think you only lose to Wrexham. I think you will smash Swansea home and away next season.
You think we'll do the double first time?
Oh, yeah. I don't rate Swansea.
I don't either, but I don't know what's happened to my prediction on them.
Hit 9th.
All the way down the bottom.
I think I agree with that at home. I think you'll destroy them at home, but see away, Wrexham have got a bizarre home fan base.
Isn't it?
Like their home fan base, they actually understand what it means to siege mentality. I think you will genuinely not beat them at their ground, but at your ground, you will tear them apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I will find a dodgy stream and watch it. But I don't think you'll, apart from Wrexham away, you will not lose to any of your rivals at home next season.
I can see it. I also think Tan will be gone in the summer with all the court cases in March.
Oh, aye.
Because he gets the hearing.
It sounds harsh to say, but maybe Salah's death actually might save your club. I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, but it will actually force him to go, shit, I can't stay here anymore.
Yeah.
But obviously him losing his life is horrible.
Because that's what he's waiting for. But another reason I think this is building something special is look at this for 1-0.
82% possession against what the fuck?
Yep.
Although 18 shots with 82% possession is mental. But one big chance all game is just too fun. 730 passes, to be fair play to you. If you can replicate that in the championship, and I mean seriously, with good investment of better quality players, if you invest in that squad, if you get an owner who will actually invest, and you play the same type of football with better quality players, I think you could end up doing better than what I thought. Siege mentality, do you see what I mean? You went there.
Yeah.
But I think if you play this kind of football, it'd be kind of different. Burnley are so shit, but I'm glad you beat them. I hate Burnley.
They were shocking.
They're just a boring football team, and I hate that one of
Now,
my
the
pals
best thing
comes
was
through.
with that, I'm pretty sure Scott Parker parked the bus for it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually rotated. What was the team we played? Oh, yeah. Decent championship, by the way,
Sorry.
with the team they played.
Ugh. Hannibal. Ugh.
Yep. And then we just absolutely tore them apart.
Did you just get rid of Wolfish? Or have you still got him?
Still there. He's one of the best centre-backs in League One.
I like Wolfish. He's a good player.
He's class. But another thing that worries me with Tan, not NG, where is he? Big money coming up. Big money. Massive money. Big money. Where's the most important one? Was he on the bench?
I'm glad you didn't say Turnbull, because Jesus Christ, he's crap.
Oh, he is. Minus the goal against Chelsea. All I'll
Yeah.
say is, we got this song about him wearing a magic hat. Pretty much the 2 seasons that he's played for us, every time he goes to the magic hat shop, it's been shut. For 10 years.
No surprise there.
But yeah, the biggest asset, where is he? I'll go back to the first game of the season. And I'm a bit worried top 6. This man.
Paclio, or whatever he's called.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Only 18. Best right back in the league so far. He's going to go for serious money if we're not careful.
It's interesting now you've got a flat 4-5-1 against a boxed narrow 4-2-3-1 as well. Like that's football for me.
100%. And this game as well, because we were all absolutely petrified going into it. Tan had literally sold about 12 players and released 12. We hadn't even signed anyone. And Barry Murphy just had to throw the kids out. So, Academy, we had 1 goalkeeper in the whole squad.
That's ridiculous. I'll tell you one thing, the
Yeah.
fact he's done that though and he's believed in them is why this squad has gone strength to strength.
Oh, exactly.
So fair play, but you really need to start adding to that squad. If you get a new owner, then that'll do you the wonders.
Not only that as well, on like a broken record on this pod, new owner, 33,000 every week. United, if they get that badge back as well, and they spend money, that team is going to cook.
It'd be interesting to see
We'll be back to usual 2010 service for me.
It'd be interesting to see where you go. Like I'm still skeptical, but I still think if it falls into place in the right way, it'll be good because I want to see a variety of clubs in the Premier League. I don't want to see scum in the league anymore. Like, I actually want to see teams that actually just want to be there. Like, Burnley don't deserve to be in the Premier League. Leeds don't deserve to be in the Premier League. Like, Wolves don't deserve to be in the Premier League. West Ham don't deserve to be in the Premier League.
Let me read out some teams, and you guys say yes or no if you want to see them in the top flight.
All
In
right.
particular, ones we haven't seen for a while. Coventry.
Yes, just so their fans can have meltdowns every week over new rivals.
Exactly. And they will force rivalries of everyone. Middlesbrough.
No.
I agree. They've had, I mean, it's for me, it's the Karanka year.
For me, I haven't cared about them since Viduka put goals past City.
True. That was quality.
They made Gareth Southgate their manager at that point. Like after that, Middlesbrough at that point for me lost all status of a football club.
And that was
Well,
after their Europe run as well, so they just lose all credibility straight away there.
Exactly. For a club that had Brian Robson and a club that had Ravanelli, who absolutely destroyed teams for Juventus, to then get Gareth Southgate as your manager, I'm sorry, you're no longer a football club. You're a trafficking scheme.
Pretty much, yeah. Ipswich.
Yes, I think they deserve a second season. They
Yeah.
deserve a second Prem season.
Preston.
Just to see David Beckham come back to Old Trafford to watch against Preston, yeah, that'd be cool.
One season though for me. What about you, Julio?
I don't really care about Preston, if I'm being honest.
Who
It's I'm a
does?
bit like I could do without them.
Yeah.
This is one Millwall, my playoff winners.
Only if West Ham stay in the league.
I was gonna say, what's worse, West Ham going down or Millwall coming up?
It would be funny for Millwall to come up and just say, "We've done it. Bye."
Yeah, but that
But-
cup final will be
Yeah.
playing West Ham, and even they won't be in the league anymore.
I think it would be it would be so hostile that the Premier League needs it.
Yeah.
Because the Premier League is controlled by so many soft, woke, crybaby fans. I'd love to just see a Millwall fan just headbutt them all. Just walk in Old Trafford, stand up to the sheiks, and then go after all the morons like Chubby Said and all that and just knock them out with a headbutt. I'd actually probably thank Millwall fans if we did that.
Oh, it'd be such a good. They gotta win the playoffs, guys.
I just want to see a
What-
Millwall fan invade Goldbridge's streams and then just say they're going to come and deck him. I think
Oh,
even
especially
Julio,
after the reaction the other day.
I think even Julio would praise that.
God bless him. Watford.
No,
Go on then. Just because they'll come up, and then they'll start behaving like Watford again.
sack
In
him
terms of
team
the, in
manager.
terms of the sacking
Four
managers,
this season.
but bringing in certain players, certain caliber players.
And Kiki Flores is still a free agent.
Oh, they'll bring him back for the fifth time, no doubt.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind him at
One
West
more.
Ham, actually, weirdly enough.
One
I think he'd
last
be decent at
dance.
West Ham.
Yeah, he'd do all right. If he's back, that's the problem with the right players.
I mean, he's a
That's
Europa
true.
League winner. Why wouldn't you back someone like him?
True. Hull.
Nah.
I don't know. The problem is there's nothing these days for any of these clubs that make me think, yeah, I want them back in the big leagues. Do you know what I mean? If I think of Hull,
Yeah.
I obviously think of when Phil Brown went on that crazy run when they first came up,
Yeah.
and then didn't win only won one game between November and the end of the season, and went from like 4th to 17th or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
And
when Steve
Giovanni
Bruce
looked
came
good
up with
again.
them,
Oh,
Yeah.
That was like prime
Ugh.
Barkley days as well. What
Mm.
about Stoke?
They had their
Leave
chances.
there and no.
I don't care. They
well,
had their
Stoke
opportunities.
can. Stoke aren't going to finish 15th this season,
True, but they'll never be back in the Premier League again.
but they
No.
can finish 15th in the Premier League.
Yeah, but they won't get back to the Premier League though.
I don't know. It could. The fact that they're not finishing 15th this season could be a late surge to the playoffs.
Could be. And bearing in mind, since they've been relegated, they haven't even finished in like the top 12. And that was nearly
Exactly.
10 years ago.
And
That's
they are
true.
in the top 12 now.
Yeah. They're actually doing something. Wrexham.
I
I
think
mean, it's
they.
going to happen. I don't really care, to be honest, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, when it happens, watch the amount of money that surges into that club.
Oh,
Even more money. They will absolutely reap the financial reward, and they will win a trophy. I mean, if they get to the Premier League, they will win a cup. You just know they will.
That's what worries me, because even though technically we've got a charity shield, and that could be considered as a major trophy, that will put all the Welsh clubs on one trophy, bar Newport, but that's Newport.
I mean,
That scares me.
don't worry, Newport still win the Chav capital of the world.
Oh god, moving swiftly on. Bristol City.
I mean, they've got
Ashton Gates' atmosphere isn't that bad, to be fair.
yeah.
To be fair, I've been there about 5 times. Very biased, but it's bang average.
They had
Okay.
Hurst. They had Hurst. I'd be okay with them in the Premier League.
One season max if they had to.
Yeah.
Neutrally, it'd be a good watch. Cardiff,
I think it'd
otherwise,
be
nah.
I'd like to see him like Luton, you know what I mean? Come up and just say, you know what, we don't care if we get relegated. We know we're not great. We're just gonna have fun. And
Isn't that
try
what they
and
did the
stay in
first time round anyway?
Luton did, yeah. I'm saying
Yeah.
that's That's what I'm saying. Like they came up and had fun.
No, it was a good watch that as well. The fact they nearly stayed up as well was mad.
They should have stayed up. The league didn't want him to stay in it. Like, let's be real, the FA didn't want him to stay in it.
Mm.
And then they just absolutely blew it the next year.
They didn't want kitchen football on TV.
True. Interesting one here, QPR. For me, they're a no.
It won't be the same QPR that we've had, because QPR's takeover that led to all the stupid spending happened 2 weeks into the season, if that, after buying a bunch of average players on freeze. And this isn't the same QPR. It will be a different QPR. It will be a QPR kind of like, they might do kind of like what Sunderland did, buy a lot of decent youngish players.
QPR have only ever done one good thing in their entire history, and that was wind up Newcastle fans by taking Loic Remy when Newcastle really wanted him.
And then Newcastle ended up getting him on loan 6 months later anyway, and then couldn't sign him permanently.
Yeah. So that's the only good thing QPR have ever done in their entire history.
Exactly. I'm going to skip the Leicester, Southampton, Sheffield United, and West Brom because that's all going to be a no, really, isn't it?
I'd take West Brom up at this point.
That'd be a good one, yeah.
I'd take West Brom up at this point.
Leicester, I don't think Leicester deserve to be back in the Premier League for quite a while, and I feel sorry for Ant that his club's decided to just implode like it. Southampton, their owners disgraced that club. I will never change my mind on that. Fuck
Rob
them.
Hasenhüttl.
Yeah, I'll never forgive them for that.
Not surprised. What about Derby?
Yeah, of course.
They can come back up and set new
beat their own points record.
Exactly. They can end the league with 5 points.
Now I've got a two-part question here. Swansea, but if we get new owners, can we see all 3 Welsh clubs in the Premier League at the same time at some point?
No. Because Michael Laudrup doesn't manage Swansea anymore.
You hipster.
Yeah, he actually plays proper good football.
Anyway, just admit you're sexually attracted to good football and no trophies yet. Oh, to be fair, actually, Laudrup won a trophy.
You won a trophy, yeah.
That's an L on my part. That's an L on my part then.
I go for winners, mate. But here's the thing: like, he actually is a good manager. I actually don't know where he is now. Actually,
I don't know why we've not seen him since, to be honest.
I think last time I saw him, he was actually I think he was in Saudi or something.
He was in Qatar or Saudi a lot after.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still managing. I think he's on a break or something.
He hasn't had a club since 2018.
That's mad, that.
Which I think... Is that in Saudi?
Is it Qatar or Saudi? Yeah, Qatar. This guy went off-grid after he left Swansea and took Chico Flores with him.
I think he realised that actually the way football is a landscape, he went, you know what, why bother? I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
But I think he's not a great manager. I just liked him as a footballer. I always liked the Laudrup brothers, like as footballers.
I love
top tier.
I love that season when he first came in, where you had him and you had Steve Clark at West Brom as well, and you know they're making these teams play better than what they were. But what I love about Laudrup was the fact that Swansea played their own way, and then on match day he turned to Ashley Williams and be like, "Who are we playing today? Oh, Stoke. How do they play football? Oh, well, they just go physical. All right, cool. We'll still do our thing anyway." But do you know what I mean? There was nothing in the build up to the match where like, right, today we're gonna be really pragmatic because the opposition likes to do this. You just didn't give a shit.
It's the only time I've ever actually seen Swansea genuinely play good football was under Laudrup in that first season. And then the second season, they just went, well, you know what? You won us the League Cup. All right. We're not going to do anything with that.
And then on top of that as well, and I've said this on shows before, you got the Swansea way.
Yeah.
That's been hijacked by the hipsters in the 20s. In the 2020s with your not so much Steve Coopers, but your Russell Martins. Your Luke Williams.
We will finish 15th, but we'll look good doing it. And we'll do all our flimsy hair flicks as well.
Yeah.
He is a bomb scare of football.
He's a force.
I don't think you'll see 3 Welsh clubs in the Premier League, and the reason being is I think for them it it would really. And I'm not saying it because they're Welsh or anything like that, but I actually think that's a thing. I think if two Welsh clubs at one time in the Premier League for them, it almost if it's like the FA didn't like it because it hurt the image of their league.
Yeah.
If you have three in there, they'll go, fuck's sake. Like they will find every way they can to have Cardiff, Swansea, and fucking Wrexham be relegated in the same season.
Yeah.
You just know they would. There would be so much match fixing. There would be so much opportunities to just beat you every single
Technically,
game.
we saw that in, well, the last season there was a Welsh club in there.
Yeah.
With the amount of refereeing decisions.
I think it's generally, but this is another thing as well, like with Rangers and Celtic. The only way Rangers and Celtic would work in the Premier League is if they had genuine, proper, massive billionaire owners that were extensive, because they would have to force themselves into the conversation. Because if they were both in the Premier League, the FA would be like, no, you're not English clubs, you're Scottish clubs, get out.
Yep.
You can go to the Championship, you can stay there if you want. But that'd be it. You'd have to force the conversation. And that's no easy thing, but I don't think you'll see 3 Welsh clubs in the Premier League at the same time. You might see 2. And if it's Cardiff and Wrexham, I'm alright with that. Because that means Deadpool on a weekend will be alright.
But the thing that is embarrassing, and I will call this out, right? Wrexham are getting too big for their boots when it comes to rivalries. Like, they've tried to force one with us, failed miserably. Pretty much for the last 20 years. Obviously, we have all disdain for Wrexham, but we're just like, yeah, so what? Because we want to focus on, obviously, you've got the rivalry with Swansea. We want to focus on our problems with the likes of Leeds, Millwall, Wolves, Chelsea, all these clubs we've had problems with before. Whereas when it was Swansea v Wrexham, oh my god,
it's the same.
It was an arrogance off.
It's the same. Like, you can actually contrast your view to how Liverpool treat Everton.
Yeah,
they know they're a local rivalry, but they don't care. The first fixture they go to every single season, they don't go looking for Everton. They go looking for Man United. It's the same with Man United. We don't go looking for Man City. It's not that we don't care about Man City. It's just like, our first game, when the fixtures come out, the first game we're looking for is, right, when's Anfield, when's Liverpool Old Trafford?
Yeah. Because next season, when we get promoted, and I will say that now, as far as I'm concerned,
you'll be looking for Swansea.
Swansea will be number 1, Bristol City number 2,
and then Millwall 3 if they're still in the league.
Millwall 3, Wolves 4.
Yeah. You won't be looking for Wrexham.
Lucky if you're in the top 10.
Honestly, you'll be looking for Leicester first just so you can wind up Ant. That's if they're still in the league.
And quality away day. Even better than North Wales, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. It is logic. Absolute logic. But yeah, they need a humbling. What about Charlton?
I actually miss Charlton in the Premier League. Like, I liked Alan Kirbishley's early Premier League side.
I miss Kirbishley, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's been out the game so long. I know he's probably not going to go back into it now, do you know what I mean? But I do feel for him that he was actually a good manager for those kind of teams.
I hated what West Ham
He
did
left
to him.
West Ham, and then we never saw him again. I think that was quite upsetting.
I think something happened at West Ham that really changed him. Yeah, Bolton, another one.
I'd like to see them back in, actually.
I don't think you'll ever see them back in the Premier League again. I really don't. And same with Portsmouth.
There are decades to go, do you know what I mean? All it takes is...
They'll probably get back in the Premier League the season after I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'll be there no matter what.
You'll be dead.
Just like stuck in this, they're just stuck in the League One vortex. They are.
Yeah.
They'll be forever.
But I like Kirbishley. I'm saying is I liked his Charlton team. I liked his West Ham team. I hated how they treated him by bringing in Pardew after that, all that crap, and I'm like, it's just the way they disrespect. I was like, you can't, especially to him. Like, he was a respected manager. He never spoke bad about anybody. You look back at it, he never spoke bad about Chelsea, and obviously as a London rival, he never disrespected Arsenal. He never disrespected Fulham. He never disrespected Man United. Like, he spoke good of everybody. He said, obviously, there's days where those teams were genuinely could have been better representatives for the league, but he never disrespected the league, and he just disappeared, and it's a damn shame.
And then they dropped like a stone.
the world needs more managers like Alan Kirbishley.
Yeah.
Like, not in the sense of he'll never win a trophy, but just somebody who loves the game. I think West Ham stole his love for football.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever seen him.
Understandable.
I don't think I've ever seen him in an interview.
It's understandable because he did, you know, that Tony Pulis and Mick McCarthy podcast. He was on there quite recently, actually.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. It was quite a lengthy one as well. So I do advise to go watch it. It was very good to hear from him and see him after so long out the game. I think he said after he left, I think he was linked with the Wolves job when Mick McCarthy got sacked, but that was pretty much it.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he does talk about what happened at West Ham. And, you know, like players were getting sold left, right, and centre without him knowing, and it was just all sorts of crap.
There it is. There actually, an hour and 5 minutes. No, that was 3 years ago. The managers. Oh, same 3 weeks ago. All right, okay.
You shocked me. I was like, I could have sworn it was the other week.
I'll have it here, but because I've got our stream in the background, but I've got another tab open. But there we go. So I'll just pause that and I'll wait for it. But his Charlton team was something else. Like people need to remember, like what with Charlton was mental.
What about these two prime Barclays teams, Blackburn and Portsmouth?
Yes.
Massively.
I mean, I'd have the Venkies out, but yes.
Yeah.
The Venkies are ruining that football club. Surprised you didn't say
The
Birmingham
thing is, their
City,
fans
though.
will come back as well.
Yeah.
I did miss I completely forgot about Birmingham. They're inevitable.
I would have Birmingham City, but I'd rather have Birmingham City than Wrexham, to be honest.
I think as well, Birmingham, they're more likely to stay up there because of the way they're backing and they're sort of being run as well. And B, they're going to be imminently up in the next 3 years. And they'll go up by winning the league this time.
I think it's more about how you get back in. I genuinely don't think Portsmouth will be back in the Premier League. I really don't. Blackburn have had so many chances to get back in, they blew it every single time.
Yeah.
Like I think
they blew it early on when they got relegated as well.
They had another
Wigan.
They had a new
that season after they got relegated, them, Wolves and Bolton all had car crash seasons.
Yeah.
No one was even close to coming back up. I think two of them had sacked at least 2 managers before Christmas.
Yeah.
Or something crazy like that.
Blackburn are a new type of stripper club.
Yeah. Speaking of the actual stripper club, Norwich.
Yeah, they can fuck. They can fuck.
Absolutely not.
I would honestly stop watching the Premier League.
Everyone's waste of time.
But while saying that, they could be down to League One. They could be stripping between Championship League One soon.
I am not kidding. This is how much I hate the constant reward they get to come up and all the parachute money. If I see Norwich back in the Premier League within the next 5 years, doesn't matter when, if I see them back in the next 5 years, I will not watch the Premier League again.
Wow.
Because I'm sick of shitty clubs being rewarded with mediocrity and getting at the Premier League. Make a different league, call it the English Stripper League, and put them in there permanently. No promotion, no relegation, no TV rights. They just belong in there and they can go up and down like a pole.
And then the last two, Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday, from what they went through
Wednesday in the Premier League.
They need one season in the Premier League just to stay afloat as a football club. So, yes. Oxford,
too small.
I don't think no one would really care. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it would be nice, small club.
Yeah.
You know, not like crazy funding or whatever. You know, it'd be nice to see them, but
for me, it wouldn't be the same as like a Luton or Blackpool going up. Like
I was going to say they would.
Same with Luton.
They
Oxford,
would come up
and
I think Oxford they'd come up and they would just sign a bunch of Prem rejects.
Yeah.
It would be strange, but I wouldn't mind it.
I vouch that. But I think before we wrap up, do we have any more managers we need to crucify that I can think of?
I mean, Russell Martin at Rangers was a cataclysmic fuck up.
Yeah.
But we did cook on him several times.
And to be fair, we did call it before the ball was kicked as well.
There is one manager we actually need to go for. Arne Slot.
Yes. After
I said
tonight,
this
you're gonna
in
be
the
in the job
summer.
tomorrow.
I said
Butterbean.
this.
Butterbean needs to be called out.
I said in the summer they front loaded too much and they needed a midfielder at least,
Mm.
and another centre back.
They needed to sell Salah in the summer. I will always stand on
I
that.
still can't. I'm actually surprised that they kept Salah. I thought it was a shoe-in that Salah would leave and they'd replace him with Brian and Burma.
Yeah, thank fuck they didn't.
100%. But aside from that, guys, we are back. We've enjoyed it. We smashed it tonight at 2 hours 30 on the dot. We love to see it, guys. What's
And
parting comments?
we do have a regular
Ooh.
date for you guys too.
Yes.
We'll let Nathan decide.
We will. So what we decided is going to be either every Tuesdays or Thursdays. Best days for all of us. When we
Yeah.
can marry it. Busy schedules. This, work.
So,
This, football.
we will be back. So we will be back on Tuesday.
Mhm.
So set your calendars.
Or Thursday.
Or Thursday.
Kill your family. But we will be back on Tuesday.
Absolutely, guys. If you have enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you can, support the channel. Like us back, listen to us back on Spotify as well. Check it in your car on the way to work. Enjoy it. Apart from that, see you all next time. Have a good one. And I need to remember how to do this. There we go. Have a good one.
Live on YouTube. And listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football podcast.